only on Xtra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 on Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday, halfway through this work week. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230 at Xtra 106.3 across social media platforms. Good morning, front office Los.
It's good to see you very chipper after a little bit of a later evening, an all-star game weekend evening.
Dude, so much fun. The thing that I've noticed about the all-star game that I've never noticed about any other game that I've been to is it is just people that love baseball watching baseball. It's not baseball's naturally a social game.
It's a talking game.
It is, but people were so dialed in. Our entire section was on every pitch. At least the section I sat in, which was like 1:30. I'd never sat in the section in the stadium, and it was weird.
It starts with a 1 no matter what.
It was 1:30.
Yeah, it was, Jure.
And it's the...
Of course it was.
Them's the good seats. The Tug seats.
We were the last row.
Welcome to the game, Mr. Coward. Can I get you a warm towel?
No, there's none of that. For sure. And it was weird. It was between the two overhangs of the second level. So it's almost like this one cutout. It was I couldn't see the scoreboard or anything.
Did you toss pieces of bread up there to the peasants?
I didn't. No, because they could see the scoreboard.
Take this, peasant.
No, I was buying them beers to tell me what the score was because I couldn't see the scoreboard.
Getting a ballpark dog with Grey Poupon.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So what inning did you leave in? Because quite honestly, I was tired last night. Once Pete Alonso homered, I checked out. I didn't even see the end of that thing. And then when I got up this morning, first thing I do is I check my phone. I have like PTSD from 25 years ago. I go, oh my God, did this thing end in a tie? Yeah. Oh my God.
And then, no, it didn't.
Okay, good. I'm glad that the home run derby swing off came into effect.
That's such a cool idea.
I thought so too, man.
Because that ending in Milwaukee, almost like 25 years ago, when they were like, well, nobody has any pitching, we're just going to end in a tie.
No, which is the worst idea ever. Then Schwarber gets up there and just smashes baseballs because that's what he does.
That's what he does, and, as well as anybody.
And the National League wins. I loved that idea, too, because, and Dre and I were talking about it earlier, it didn't mean anything. At one point it was at least, you get home field advantage or whatever.
That was the dumb reaction that we had to a tie in Milwaukee where then Major League Baseball, now it matters. Yeah. And so I still remember, there was a situation, and this burned me as a guy who follows the Braves and who follows the Texas Rangers. When the Rangers went to their first World Series and their second World Series back-to-back years, both times the National League had home field advantage, and the second time they shouldn't have because the Rangers were a better team with a better record. But because of the All-Star game, here's the Cardinals with home field advantage.
Yeah. It shouldn't necessarily mean anything. I was in the time you want it to mean something, but it doesn't. It's just fun.
It's supposed to be a celebration of baseball.
That's what it is, man. And that's what last night showed me. People in every different jersey, but they actually were engaged in the game. It wasn't people talking or doing business or whatever that you typically see at a baseball game. People were there to see every player. Like there was a great moment because Paul Skeens started the game, and then Aaron Judge standing there in the on deck circle. He's the third hitter, but he's up there timing up Skeens. Like he wants to hit the baseball. And that I thought that was so fun. I thought it was just a cool moment that I didn't expect to see.
But you get interesting parts about baseball. Like, for instance, the home run derby, Cal Raleigh, to know that his dad's the one pitching to him and his brother's catching.
The catcher, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. It's like the dude won the home run derby with his dad and his brother.
What a battery.
Like, that is baseball right there because that's how you grow up playing the game.
In the backyard.
Yeah.
How many times have they done that before, do you think?
How many times? Could you imagine how surreal it is to go, are we really doing this in front of all these people like this?
Because that place was slap full. I mean, for home run derby night. I mean, so many people. And I didn't know what to expect there. And to see the stadium just to the brim on the home run derby and what I learned about the home run derby is you have to keep your head on a swivel.
Yes, those things keep flying.
But you don't realize that. I knew it, but I didn't know it.
Did you were I want to be on my phone, and everyone's like, just don't be on your phone.
No. The problem, nobody was on their phone. That's what I'm saying. People,
yeah, you can be.
You cannot be.
Not in that building. Not when that's going on.
The problem is The amazing thing is, you're tracking a ball. Okay, is this ball going to get out? Is it going to count? And by the time you see that yes or no, there's another one that you got to find.
Yeah, there's some guys who have such a short swing that, I mean, they are launching them. It's like two per second, 3 per second almost. O'Neal Cruz was sending them out really quick.
Dude.
You get a guy like Matt Olson who's got a little bit longer swing.
Yeah.
He was kind of paced a little bit slower, but some of those guys are just shooting lasers out.
But even last night,
you better be ready.
Last night looked good. Everything
so
came
awesome,
across as right now, Atlanta is kind of this interesting sports mecca, because while the All-Star game is here, just down the road you have SEC Media Days. That is the unofficial start of college football. So everything is going on right now in Atlanta. So it looked great last night. And then to see all the coverage of not just obviously the game, but then to also see the conference. It was really cool, because as I'm watching coach interviews, then I'm like, okay, I got through all of that for the morning into the afternoon, and now I'm gearing up for baseball.
Yeah.
And it's all in my backyard.
And it's funny, because that's kind of what the fall is too. If you think it's one of the best times of the year for sports, is because you got the Major League Baseball season winding down. You start thinking about playoffs, and then college football starts. Dude, it is the most wonderful time of the year.
38 days till college football.
Bam. There you go. But yeah, it was Kane Brown singing Georgia on My Mind. You know, he's from Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, singing, you know, a song that Ray Charles, who also is from Georgia, made famous state song.
You gonna make it do what it do?
Yeah, dude. And he sounded so good. It was cool.
Timothy Miller.
Dude,
nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better. He never
I checked
fails.
out of that. So Miller was okay.
God Bless America.
God Bless America.
For
awesome
the stretch. And the Zach Brown Band singing the national anthem. And Zach stayed for the game. Most of the guys stayed for the game in the band, which was cool, because Zach is such a Braves fan. If you ever go to a ZBB concert, you'll at some point during the concert see him wear a Braves hat. He always has his Braves hat.
I made it to the 6th inning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that was my checkout point. I was like, all right, Homer, I'm out of here. Time to go to bed.
Did you see the Hank Aaron tribute?
No, I missed that.
Do yourself a favor.
Okay.
Unbelievable tribute to Hank Aaron breaking the record of Babe Ruth. It's like nothing I've ever seen, dude. It really was.
You said that it was a reenactment of 715.
Yeah. So they had the date kind of pop up in the outfield, but with lights, and then this one shining light, at the end of it, almost like 9/11. The lights just shot up. It was that kind of thing, and the whole stadium was dark, and that one light, to the point where he hit the home run.
That's cool.
And back in '74, yeah, it was really cool.
Is that when you heard your old man speak to you?
Yeah, dude, without a doubt.
Was that the moment?
Without a doubt.
Awesome.
Because that was, he was my dad's favorite player. It was my favorite player because of that. And they had this when they were replaying the audio, and the video was on the screen, or on the field rather, and then the swing, and it was like a firework shot off from the plate into the outfield. It was nuts. I've never seen anything remotely like it.
Rarely do you ever see an in-stadium celebration or acknowledgement ever make the sports headlines page. It is one of the sports headlines on ESPN.com of you got to see this way that they honored this moment.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen. It really was remarkable. If you get a chance to watch it today, you should, especially if you're a Braves fan.
Yeah, I just retweeted it, and the Braves also sent out a really cool photo of Hank Aaron's wife.
Yeah, standing there, and it's from behind her as she's watching this come down. It's super cool.
Pretty good seats. She must have been near you.
Yeah, no, I think she probably had better seats than I did. I bet she could see the scoreboard.
That's okay. Well, it's the only moment where you go, all right, I missed out a little bit. I couldn't see the scoreboard.
Yeah, I didn't care. I wasn't paying attention to the scoreboard anyway.
I'm glad you took it in. I know it was a
really
a goal.
meaningful.
It was a goal that you wanted.
Really meaningful, and
look at that Amex.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Trust me, I just got through June. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, that's right. Where y'all did all the travel for volleyball, hotels.
So you'll have yours in August when you're like, I did it for you, Dad.
Yeah. Now can you just wink me some money? Can you drop me down a bag from the clouds or something? But yeah,
awesome.
Super cool evening. What about you, man?
I was just watching from home.
Laying low.
We got another one of those crazy pop-up storms. We were talking about going to the pool because that's all we do now. It's like, let's go to the pool again.
And once you see his pool, you'll figure out why.
It's not much. It's a neighborhood pool, but yeah.
But it's pretty amazing.
But it's cool. It's a cool pool. We just stayed around the house and then, before you know it, did a little dinner, and then I started watching the game. And like I said, I checked out in the 6th inning because I thought, okay, that's done. And for me, I got to the stand up to cancer moment. I wait for it every year. I think it's always really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So once that occurred, I was like, I'm good now.
Yeah, got it.
I missed the home run off, and I missed the tribute to Hank Aaron. So I got to get that in at some point.
Yeah,
today.
you will, and it's easy because it's everywhere on social media. The other thing, obviously, being in the stands, you couldn't hear Clayton Kershaw. And he was mic'd.
That was cool in game.
Yeah.
Because at one point, because he's talking back and forth to the booth. And so you're getting that on the game broadcast. And at one point, he's asking John Smoltz, what do you want me to throw here? And Smoltz goes, cutter in. And he goes, come on, Smoltz, I don't have a cutter.
That's right. I can throw a slider.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. I don't have that.
Yeah,
so that was pretty fun to listen to the guys that were mic'd up and to hear them, because one of the best ones was from several years ago, and it was a very long inning. I'm trying to remember the Charlie who played at Georgia Tech and then was a longtime center fielder with the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, yeah. He played at Young Harris before.
So he was. This was like a 30-minute inning. And so he was on the mic the entire time.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite ones because they just started talking about recipes and just how do you kill time?
Yeah,
That's what they were doing. Because most of these guys know I'm on the mic and these innings, these half innings go so fast that I'm probably going to be on the mic for maybe 6-7 minutes, maybe total.
Charlie Blackmon.
Blackmon was on for like half an hour.
My favorite one of those was when Freddie got was it an inside the park home run or was it a triple? Where is it? There's a wind, boys. There's a wind.
Yeah. And then there was one of those moments, too. Someone in the outfield is mic'd up, and they're talking, and somebody just laces one to the gap, and he's like, I ain't getting to that, boys. And he has to go and field it and get it in. Just so stinking cool, man. I love the mic'd up stuff. I know it's probably not for everybody, but I loved it.
They did have Pete Crow Armstrong that was mic'd up at one point during the game. Now, I'd never heard him talk about anything. Obviously he's having a big year with Chicago. It wasn't until I recognized, okay, this guy is turning into like this Chicago phenomenon where he's just known as PCA.
Yeah, I
was like, that's kind of cool.
It is awesome.
He's just PCA, man.
Yeah, and his mama is the mama from Little Big League.
Yeah, wild.
What? Yeah, his mama was the mama. She played the character of the mom in the movie Little Big League.
It's awesome.
Dude, so cool. Talk about poetic.
Yeah.
For her to, be in such an important movie, for at least for our family. We've watched that a million times.
The line is from Moneyball, and it's always correct. How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Dude, you have to.
Because of that stuff.
You have to just have not... So
I'm glad it all played out.
Turn off your soul.
We all won. We all won yesterday.
Definitely
Whole
did.
city of Atlanta.
The city of Atlanta definitely did. And good for the city of Atlanta to finally get its desserts. Its
Battery was all dressed up this week.
Yeah.
Looking great.
Yeah.
I could, when I was walking in, there's still a couple of remnants out there. The red carpet's still out there. Yep. And there was something in the air that smelled a lot like Coors Light.
Yeah.
Said there was some silver bullets going down fast last night.
I was just thinking as I was walking into the Battery, and now they've started tearing some stuff down and some of the fencing, and I just thought, wow, this Jim Eagle moment really delivered.
Yeah.
So pleased.
Jim, whatever that means. Of all things.
Of all things.
Surely someone didn't write that and say, hey, why don't you try this and work this
Listen,
in.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
4 years from now, people are going to be mocking you for calling Jim Crow Jim Eagle, but you need to issue the line.
Yeah, that's right. It's just insanity.
It's just fun that the moment of what it was 4 years ago, and there was that poetic justice of Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, having to hand the World Series trophy over to the Atlanta Braves after pulling this, the game from them. And then to have this all come back around in this way, perfect.
Yeah, it is. And Atlanta got what it deserved, and was the.
See you in 20 years.
Yeah, or 25 or 30 for that matter. It takes a while for it to come back around, but I don't know that. I've never been to another All-Star game, so I don't know. But I don't know how you top that. I'm sure each stadium's great and unique, but the Braves did it right, man. Mm-hmm. Everything in the stadium was immaculate. From the flyovers, dude, the flyovers were so incredible. 2 nights in a row, home run derby. And then just by chance, I'm going up to get water in the mezzanine, and here come the 3 pilots that did the flyover.
Oh, really?
Because they had just, recognized them on top of the dugout, the Braves dugout. And they're just taking a lap because we're on the other side. We're behind the AL dugout. And just so happens, here comes them, and I'm like, hi, thank you, boys. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for your service, and that was awesome.
Was this the liquor talking a little bit too?
No, I'd been drinking Dasani water all night. No, it was just super cool, man. You just see guys in their flight suits, and it's just a different look.
You guys are awesome.
Dude, and that's exactly what it was.
America!
That's right.
Aviator sunglasses.
Dude.
Coolest guys on the planet.
The coolest dudes ever. The coolest dudes ever.
They can do it.
And, Zach's finishing the national anthem, and then you can hear it coming. I turned around to the kid behind him, and I was like, "That's what freedom sounds like, kid."
Did you turn around to anyone and be like, "In Trump's America, we're having a great time with this"?
That's right. I didn't, but I should have. And that's what I left out. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we come back, Neil Bortz, the Talk Master, next on Extra.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Lord, it's going to be steamy. Somebody asked me what the game was like yesterday, and I was like, steamy. It was pressure cooker hot, which I'm fine with. It doesn't bother me. My sweet wife, on the other hand, she was like, whoo, I made a mistake wearing these pants. She says, I should have wore a dress or some shorts or something. That's not going to be that much different if you have single pane windows in your house. If you got a door that's not sealed well, all that steamy, that humidity-driven Georgia heat creeping right into the house as you're paying that power bill to keep the house cool. All that cool air just running out the door, just running out those single pane windows. How do you fix it? It's easy. Call the folks at Southern Exteriors, 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. They can replace those windows that you probably can't open because they've been painted shut. They can get you new doors. And the thing about this is, yes, it's about energy efficiency, of course. It's about the functionality. But on top of that, it's about the way it looks, man. It changes the look. It's like a facelift for your house. New windows and new doors. Right now, you can get 10% off any job or 12 months, 0% financing, windows, doors, roofing, siding, gutters, anything to the outside of your house. They do it at Southern Exteriors. Again, get a hold of them very easy, southernexteriors.co.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPsetc.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The city of Austell has approved a 158% property tax increase. Austell previously held the lowest property taxes in Cobb County for 25 years. Mayor Ollie Clemens said the decision didn't come lightly and was long overdue in order to help the city leaders retain top talent. Austell faced a $1.6 million shortfall in 2024. Marietta City Schools are discussing installing vape detection systems in schools. The proposed Halo smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and vape devices. The CDC reports that 6% of middle and high schoolers admit to using vape products. And the Stanley Cup made its way to Metro Atlanta. The trophy was on display at the Alpharetta Town Green yesterday. Speakers at the event said they hope having the trophy in town will spark interest in bringing the NHL back to Georgia. Last month, the Forsyth County Commission approved the multi-billion-dollar mixed-use development known as The Gathering, which could pave the way for an expansion NHL franchise in Atlanta. Today's weather partly cloudy throughout the day with temperatures rising to the mid-90s. We'll have some pop-up storms throughout the day. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Thank you for being here with us.
Need you in the right headspace for this.
That's right. And Los just showed me something that we probably can't talk about on the air.
It's still funny, though.
It's terrible. We'll just let you know that it's about Jennifer Love Hewitt and and her assets. Some of the things.
The wood motorboat.
Neil Borch is the Talkmaster, and he joins us on Extra 106.3. Neil, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Talk about it. You don't have any stones if you don't talk about it. Whatever it is.
It's hard to describe. It's very visual.
It is.
It's very visual.
Okay, you sound effects.
It sounds like you've got the sound effects ready.
I'm just saying that if Neil Borch told me that he ended up buying a boat and he named it the Wood Motorboat, I would die laughing every day. Just WOOD Motorboat. I'd be like, that's genius.
I had a wave runner here.
Oh, well, you can't name a wave runner, though.
Yeah. No, but you know, I've told the story about what happened with that wave runner.
Did it survive? Did it end at the bottom of the ocean? What happened?
No, not well. Okay, you know, it's Hannity and I were out on wave runners.
Oh, wow. Mr. Big Time in it.
Wait, together or like separate wave runners?
No, surely you weren't riding.
Yeah. No, I know you're gay.
No. Okay, so I knew the trails through the mangroves around here.
Okay.
Okay, that you could run these wave runners at full tilt, and just, it was great fun. Said, okay, Hannity, follow me through here. If you lose track of me, okay, all you have to do is follow where the water is all churned up.
Makes sense.
Okay, fine. So I'm ripping through this mangrove in this wave runner in the Estero area, for those of you that know this area of Florida. And I come around a corner, and there's a wide area. Usually, we're running through about 8 to 10 feet wide, these paths. I reach a wide area, and there's a John boat in that area, parked.
Ooh.
And there are two really corpulent people in that John boat. And how do I say this?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's make noises.
They are unclothed.
Oh, no.
And Mr. Corpulent is absolutely wearing out Mrs. Corpulent.
Oh, how you doing?
And so I come around the corner and, let off the throttle, and took me just about a half a second to realize what was going on. So I goosed it. I hit that thing full tilt, turned hard right, and washed both of them down with brackish water back there in the mangroves.
Oh,
what, like dogs?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll leave each other alone?
They'll unhook.
And so I'm out of there. But then,
and then there's Hannity.
Yeah.
Here comes Hannity. And he comes around. He's so easily recognizable. I'm not. So Hannity comes around the corner and stops, and they're still in a state of shock. And he just looks at us and says, "Hi!" And then all of a sudden, it dawns on Hannity what's going on. So he gooses it and heads out of there, and we get out into the bay, and we get together, and we're laughing our tails off. And all of a sudden, here comes this John boat out of the mangroves doing 12 miles an hour with these two fat people in it, waving their fist and screaming at us. And, we can do 71 miles an hour. They're not. They're not. Oh, that was just a wonderful time.
They're asking for Hannity's autograph. They're putting their clothes back on.
What a fever dream. So
and we can only hope that they probably did not look like the people who watch Hannity.
That's great.
It's a wonderful story.
Okay, I got a new face of the Democrat Party.
Please.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, remember Willie Horton?
Yes, absolutely.
A murderer released to do it again and all that. That was Dukakis Bush, wasn't it? I think so.
Yes.
Solomon Gilligan. Solomon Gilligan. He needs to be today's.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that guy.
You see his picture?
Yes, the one that tried to kidnap an elementary school.
Yeah, wouldn't you be perfectly within your rights if at this second you saw him, you just pulled out a gun and blew him away?
He looks like he belongs in a haunted house or something.
Well, Disney could not do The Walking Dead. They never came up with anything that looked as bad as this guy.
That's what I thought. I was like, he looks like straight out of The Walking Dead.
And that's real.
It's real. And for those people, I don't know if you can Google Solomon Gilligan and come up with his picture, but all you have to do is go to my Facebook page.
Yeah. A quick Google search will bring him right up real quick, and he is frightening to look at.
This guy tried to kidnap a child off of a playground in, I think, Aurora, Colorado.
Yep.
He was arrested, and the Democrat, this isn't certain yet, but the Democrat district attorney there is suggesting that he is just too crazy to put on trial, and they're going to release him.
That sounds like a great idea if you're too crazy for trial.
Yeah.
Let's give him back to the public. It'll work out perfectly.
Or make him president because he has no idea what was going on, just like Joe Biden had no idea what was going on.
No, he probably is more aware
maybe
than Joe Biden. Oh, you talk about my morning was going so good. We have our entire family visiting us here. Yeah, I had to roust my almost 16-year-old granddaughter out of this room where my little studio is, and so she's in bed with Granny right now trying to sleep in. Aww. But we're having such a good time, and we're going to watch Poop Cruise for the third time.
Oh, over on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Have you seen this, Tug?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh, my God.
So there's a series of like these disaster and crazy documentaries. Yeah. Yes, and Poop Cruise is one of them that'll gross you out. But it'll make you, for anybody who's a cruise enthusiast, go, that's the worst cruise I've ever heard of.
Oh, no. And just the fact that it's got poop attached to it automatically makes me want to throw up.
Not only attached, but it's actually funny, and I can never eat lasagna again.
Yeah, there's sometimes every now and then there's something on Netflix that'll just kind of cause me to lose a little bit of faith in humanity. That was one of them.
and what cruise line did it just have to be?
Was it Carnival?
Carnival. Had to be Carnival.
Which didn't they just implement some new rules?
They're having a hard time. They really are, because their fares got so low, and they have so many 3- and 4-night cruises that the Nubian Americans have made it their cruise line, and so there are fights, there are brawls, there are all sorts of stuff going on. They have new rules. One of the rules, and I don't know anything about this. You guys are so in touch. You probably do. They no longer allow the wobble dance on cruises.
Well, then there you go. And you can't take your drinks on the dance floor either. What
the hell is the wobble dance?
Well, it's fun. Wobble baby wobble. It's about 5-6 years old. Something like that.
Was it like twerking?
No. It's just put it this way. It's a fun kind of dance that you do at weddings. Like kids can do it. Yes, but because it creates a crowded dance floor. That's probably part of the reason when people are drinking and acting foolish.
Dre compared it to the like an updated electric slide or something.
Yeah, I'm so out of touch. God, I didn't even know what the wobble dance was.
Yeah, you ain't missing that much. Yeah, you're all set.
Jeez, but anyway, another new rule is that they're not allowed to bring speakers on deck.
Yeah, no Bluetooth, no JBLs out there.
Yeah, no speakers, headphones maybe, but that is because these different factions of Norwegians will get together on deck, and they're all playing their favorite rap music, so fights start over which rap music is going to dominate the swimming pool.
I do not understand, for anyone who's been on a cruise, how you can be looking to fight on a cruise ship. It's like a great spot to be in. I'm going, wait a minute, I'm going from one island destination to the next? What am I looking to fight? Come on.
No, all you have to do is disrespect. Well, I was disrespected. Oh, God, I hate that word. I hate it worse than influencer.
Let's get into the Jill Biden conversation. What was the question you wanted to pose?
Well, about Joe Biden, I just think that there is absolutely no doubt at all that those pardons, most of them, especially on the last days, were signed by the auto pen, and that he didn't have a clue what was going on. It's like a memo was passed around the White House. Okay, attention, White House staffers. If you all know anybody that needs a federal pardon for any possible federal crimes, get their names to us real quick. We're going to do a mass signing of pardons with Biden's auto pen. He'll know nothing about it, but once it's done, it's done. So, send us your names. I'm certain that that's basically what happened with Joe Biden. He had no clue what was going on in the White House, at least for the last full year, maybe 2 years of his presidency.
Neil, let me ask you this, because part of the discussion has been, pardons are really valuable. And they went out to some people that if they wanted to find some compensation for them, they could probably find some compensation for them. Do you think there was any criminality from that standpoint with some of these people that got pardons?
Bribes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah, that's it.
I call it compensation, but yeah, it's what it is.
There's some of them I can't stand. The Chrisleys? What the hell?
Yeah, makes no sense. Whatever.
And is he or is he not? I've never been able to.
Unsure. I've met the man a couple times. I couldn't tell you the answer.
You don't know.
I have no clue. Not even a good guess.
Yeah, and there were some very strange elements of that family. But, it's no doubt that this country did not have a chief executive.
Oh, no, definitely not.
For the last couple of years of the Biden. And Democrats, look, who's the leader of the Democrat Party right now? Either one of you, tell me, who's the leader?
No, I mean, nobody knows.
I mean,
the answer.
Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer have rank, but I don't think they're the leaders.
Solomon Gilligan.
Yeah,
that's right. Absolutely.
Might as well go with whoever you want to at this point. They're searching for leadership.
And there's so many good things that are happening. Now, Trump goes off the I wish he had a throttle. I wish somebody could say, no, not that. No, you cannot revoke Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. There's nothing in the Constitution that allows you to do that. But what you can do is send flowers to the Prime Minister of Ireland and apologize for having inflicted that hideous woman.
That's right.
And that carries a better message. And I'm going to revoke her citizenship. I don't know, between Lena Dunham, Rosie O'Donnell, what have you, if they were the last women on Earth, I'd demand a recount.
No.
But something that Los brought up when Donald Trump said that Joe Biden and the pardons and all the things that he's done and just his not being in charge for the last 4 years was the biggest controversy in U.S. history, or at least in the last 50 to 100 years.
Like, I get that he's bombastic, but I think when what really comes down to it, Neil, we didn't have a president for the better part of 4 years, and that's strange.
Let's say the potential for catastrophic danger there was unparalleled.
Yes.
It doesn't look like it went that far, but it could have become just a major disaster for our republic when you had people you don't know, people you did not elect, people with philosophies and what have you that have not been vetted by the American public in the White House signing executive orders and pardons.
After 10:30. Because that's when Fauci's was signed, and Joe Biden was not functioning after 4 p.m.
Functioning in what way?
Well, I mean, as the president or at least the figurehead.
I still thought it was very telling, Neil. In the very first few weeks of the Trump administration, this newest one, the media was talking about how much busier they had to be because after 4 o'clock on Friday, they didn't worry about anything coming from the White House because Joe Biden's White House would be closed at that point for the weekend all the way until Monday.
The potential for disaster was intense.
Yes.
And how we got through that, I don't know. And please, guys, the next time I'm on in the morning, let me tune in without hearing the words Jill Biden.
We'll do our best, but I mean, when you're talking about Joe, knowing that she was power hungry and was behind so much of the corruption that was happening, you got to talk about her.
Oh. But I loved it on The View when they suggested she could be the Surgeon General.
She's a great doctor.
Dr. Biden, Dr. Jill Biden.
Boy, if that doesn't epitomize The View, I don't know what is. Okay, I'm going to... These people here are messing up my kitchen. I'm really ticked off. I'm going to have to go.
No deal.
Neil, you take care of them. We'll take care of the rest of the show. Thank you for being here, man. Okay. We love talking to you, bud.
Y'all be good.
You too. As best we can, anyway. All right, when we come back, in case you were worried, Pam Bondi is safe. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The National League, well, they are your All-Star Game winners after a 6-6 final that was settled with a home run swing-off for the first time ever in All-Star Game history. Philadelphia Phillies slugger Kyle Schwarber led the National League to a 4-3 home run swing-off advantage to beat the American League. As for the Atlanta Braves, they are now off for the break until Friday. They will return to action at Truist Park and host the New York Yankees for a weekend series. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Mental health awareness is being spotlighted like never before. People are talking about it like never before. Skyland Trail provides expert and evidence-based treatment to help people facing mental health challenges find a path to recovery. That is not out of the purview of Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. They realize what is happening and what needs to be done, and they want to help. Here's how you can help. They're doing their Christmas in July, so they're through the end of the month. Anytime you sign up for a maintenance agreement for your HVAC at home or your business for that matter, $10 from every new agreement goes to Skyland Trail. Life-changing care for those who need it most. You know, Central services all makes and models. And with them, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. They've been treating people this way since 1947. Here's how you get a hold of Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Cowart for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Clayton County Clerk Shanae Clemens and Cobb Clerk of Court Tanisha Phillips. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small, honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Summer is all about making memories, right? Backyard barbecues, road trips, maybe finally getting around to that hiking trail you've been eyeballing. But if you're living with pain, those future memories can be stolen from you. So here's a thought. Call 1-800-4-RELIEF and try Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement designed to help your body fight pain. It's a doctor-developed formula made from natural ingredients. Best part? Relief Factor doesn't mask pain. It helps reduce or even eliminate it for good. Whether it's kayaking, running around with the little ones, or just chilling in a hammock, Relief Factor can help you feel better, move better, and do more of the things you love all summer long. So if you're ready to reclaim your summer, head over to ReliefFactor.com or give them a call at 1-800-4-RELIEF. Do it now and get their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
The libtards, if you will, they need to pay their fair share. So earning 26% of the income and then paying 46% of all the income taxes, that's just not fair. Complete dumbassery.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Loyalty is something that Donald Trump is dedicated to. There's no doubt about it. If you're loyal to him, he's loyal to you. And that is proving true with Pam Bondi. There's a... Let's just call it like it is. The Epstein thing was the Bible.
They're stepping in it.
Everything else she's done just fine. And Donald Trump realizes that and recognizes that. And that's why I think he's been so loyal to her.
I get it. And everybody is looking for the pound of flesh. Trust me on this. I was the one for 3 years being like, when is this all going to fall on Fauci's head? And what have I said for the better part of 3 years? Nothing's going to happen.
Ever.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
That man is responsible for so many deaths and so much mayhem, and nothing will happen, ever. We can get all excited about the auto pen, and I think the auto pen, just as Donald Trump brought it up, is a huge controversy. And we should be saying, look what they were doing for 4 years. What a mess. But is anyone going to go to jail for it?
No.
No. It won't happen.
And those pardons will stay intact.
Yeah.
Mark our words.
I mean,
promise you.
We've had Rand Paul bring it up that the only way that anything would ever change is if you had somebody indicted, then it ends up going and have to be taking a look at court whether or not that pardon would be valid. And more than likely, they'll probably just say, all right, it's enough of a gray area, you're fine. So all that being said, here's Pam Bondi, who stepped in it by saying, listen, I'm going to have all this Epstein stuff on my desk. You'll get it all. I've said it for quite a while. I don't think there's anything there. I think that whatever was out there before, which has been in the hands of the other administration since...
For 20 years.
I mean, well, Epstein.
Oh, yes, yeah.
They've had all of it.
Yeah.
And whatever they had, or whatever that was potentially damning, you think they want to make sure that's all the light of day?
No, because... there's so many people wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
And so many politicians, they know they can't and won't, because they protect each other just the way they do it.
I get it. You want to live in a land of make-a-believe, which is that everyone is the same. It doesn't work that way. Now, does that make me jaded for accepting the fact that that's just how it is? That there are multi-forms of justice, tiers, depending on representation, money, celebrity. All this stuff matters. And it's not supposed to. Under the eyes of the law, we're all supposed to be the same.
Blindfolded.
Remember? That's not the way it works. So take a listen. This is Pam Bondi yesterday. And again, the other side is looking for, hey, can we get a victory? Can we get rid of one of these people? And the Trump administration, to their credit or their detriment, is making it a point. No, we're going to keep everybody here and make sure that everybody stays intact.
Are you confident you're going to still be here to execute this? Because there's so many people calling for change at the Department.
I'm going to be here for as long as the president wants me here, and I believe he's made that crystal clear. It's 4 years. Well, 3.5 now, right? We've got 6 months in. And it feels like 6 years. But I was with Director Patel this morning, and we are working on fighting violent crime. We are working on all these issues that we deeply care about to make America safe again and get these drugs off our streets. You know, we've been working on this since my really last 2 years. Fentanyl was coming on the market when I was state attorney general. And now with these cartels, it's coming back. It's coming in more than ever. And the border has stopped that, but we're going to catch them and we're going to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
You happen to find out that there is a Hollywood actor that partook in sex with minors at Epstein Island, or your son dies of fentanyl.
No, which is more important to you? I see what you're saying, but
in this current climate, this is what you're getting.
Yeah, people care. People, for whatever reason, people. I mean, I understand. I say for whatever reason.
I get
because
it. It's gross.
It's filthy. It's gross,
and you expect.
Or you hope, at least hope. I don't know if you expect anymore.
Well, and this is a credit to the Trump administration. They've delivered on so many things they said they were going to that you would expect.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problematic moment here.
Yeah.
You would expect to have this information delivered on a silver platter to you. And that the powerful people around the world that are pedophiles, they're going to get theirs. And the problem is what I'm telling you, this stuff has been whitewashed. It's been cleaned. They will never see the light of day where you'll actually have here's the video of X doing this bad thing in here.
Because you can't release that to begin with. You can't release child pornography. I mean, you can't. There's just no way that could happen. And the victims that are involved, that can't, I mean, it's never going to happen.
So the people that want Pam Bondi's head, I get it. You stepped in it. You shouldn't have said that you had what you thought you were going to have.
And the binder thing was stupid.
Yes. All of that, misstep, not smart. Meantime, Kash Patel, when he went on Rogan's podcast, pointed out We have stopped fentanyl coming across from Mexico. Now they're routing it through India. Now we're having to deal with this in a different way. The reason why the deaths are down, it's because we have curtailed what's been happening, but we haven't stopped it. And the Chinese are just as determined to get it into this country as they have in the past.
They are.
So when Pam Bondi brings that up, you might think about it in terms of, well,
she's deflecting.
She's deflecting.
Yeah.
This is their priority.
And it should be.
And the fact that it is not for everyone else, and whether it was Glenn Beck yesterday talking about this is all about finding truth, justice, ain't Superman, dude. That's not the way this game works. It's just not. I mean, we have I'm sidetracking. We have a DA in this town.
Holy cow.
Who skirted as many rules and laws as possible, and she's just hanging out back at the DA's office.
What's going on with her?
Nothing.
And you know what's going to happen to her?
Nothing.
Probably nothing. Same way with the one in New York. What's her name that prosecuted Trump?
Letitia James has an issue when it comes to basically mortgage fraud.
She said she was married to her dad.
And Adam Schiff has the same thing of claiming a primary residence in Maryland. You know what's going to happen to Adam Schiff? He's going to be in the Senate next year, and the year after that, and the year after that.
Him and his big old head.
And so what I'm interested in, what I continue to be talking about is, what about stuff that matters?
Because there's so much out there, like operational security of the border and the fact that we've had zero people come across the border.
If it continues in the way that it is, and the left knows it, that's why they're pushing it so hard. That's why they're pouring gasoline on it.
Yeah.
You recognize that does hurt the overall goal of the administration, which is we're taking away the left's power for the next 25 years. And we're going to send out 10 million of these people out of this country. And we're going to have alligator Alcatrazes all over the place. Realize you getting caught up in the whole Epstein thing hurts that goal.
Yeah, for sure. There was a great post from a right-wing madman shared by Cat Turd. And it says, the Panic Creed. I trust Trump, but I voted for Trump, but he secured the border, but he's arresting pedos, but he's jailing human smugglers, but, and it keeps going all the way down.
Yep, all the way through.
Let me break it to you. Do not listen. Trump is doing great work, and nobody can argue that. I just thought it really did summarize kind of what you laid out.
I don't get that a misstep on an issue that's largely dead, including the main perpetrator and his accomplices in federal prison, and we're going to somehow throw the baby out with the bathwater with what's been happening. If the word with what's coming down today, and my future Waffle House friend, Anna Paulina Luna, she made the point, hey, Jerome Powell, he's out.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, he can't be fired. Well, right. He can be removed with cause. Now, whatever they come up with, one way or another, Jerome Powell will not be handling the Fed, I believe, in about the next 24 hours, just in time for you to see that rate cut.
Yeah. It's going to be so good.
So we want to talk about things that matter?
Cut the rates, but just back to the Cat Turd post. Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3, Tug and Los until 10. Democrats need very low-wage labor, and they need those people to remain in the country so they can vote for them. Next on Extra.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Experience luxury like never before behind the wheel of a brand new Cadillac from Jim Ellis Cadillac.
From the iconic Escalade to the innovative electric Lyriq, Jim Ellis Cadillac offers the models you know and love, along with the latest in luxury EVs.
And the buying experience just as luxurious as the Cadillac name itself. With great prices, a great selection, and a team of knowledgeable sales associates, You'll love shopping at their showroom, conveniently located on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Prefer to shop from home? Visit JimEllisCadillac.com, where you can browse all the latest offers and even start or complete your entire purchase online with the Jim Ellis Expressway.
Want to try before you buy? Schedule an at-home test drive and enjoy the convenience of home vehicle delivery. Luxury is waiting. Experience it today at Jim Ellis Cadillac. Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
What does the feeling truly safe at home mean to you? Not just an alarm that sounds after a crisis, after your peace of mind is shattered. True security is having a system that is proactive, not just reactive. Old school security systems only react once the damage is done. SimpliSafe is different. It's designed to help stop crime before it starts. Their innovative Active Guard outdoor protection uses smart AI cameras to spot suspicious activity outside your home and alert SimpliSafe's live monitoring agents, who can then see and speak directly to the lurkers through the camera and call urgent police dispatch in an emergency. That's real. That's proactive defense, stopping criminals before they get to your house. SimpliSafe. It's the protection you and your family deserve, and we just installed SimpliSafe systems to protect both of my daughter's homes. Protect what matters most and get that peace of mind today. Don't put it off. Get 50% off your SimpliSafe system with professional monitoring, plus your free month at simplysafe.com/Beck. Your first month is free. Simplysafe.com/Beck. There is no safe like SimpliSafe.
Dogs can hear 4 times farther than humans can, which makes it even more impressive how they manage to ignore you so effortlessly.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
Fewest ever recorded, with Border Patrol agents apprehending only about 8,000 people coming here illegally. But Homeland Security says there's been a spike up in something else. Attacks on immigration agents as the raids continue in President Trump's mass deportation push.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem directing her ire at California Governor Gavin Newsom, posting, "Just in, our brave ICE law enforcement are now facing an 830% increase in assaults against them. This new data reflects the violence against our law enforcement in cities across the country in the last few weeks. Politicians across the country, regardless of political stripe, must condemn this. Gavin Newsom, we're looking at you."
That's Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Now, the Democratic governor, Newsom, went to court trying to stop the Trump National Guard deployment to counter anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. The Pentagon announced yesterday that deployment's been cut in half. In Texas, the FBI's captured a wanted man accused of firing shots at ICE officers at a Texas detention center earlier this month. Benjamin Song charged with attempted murder. Now to the Senate.
There has been a renewed commitment to reducing spending.
Majority Leader John Thune, though, 3 of his fellow Republicans oppose what's called a rescissions package to claw back more than $9 billion in funding already approved, forcing Vice President Vance to cast a tie-breaking vote last night, advancing the bill toward final passage. The cuts involve money for foreign aid and public broadcasting. Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says,
"These cuts couldn't come at a worse time right now, after we're seeing the devastating tragedy in Texas."
Referencing the flooding blamed for 134 deaths. More deaths in Gaza, where Palestinians say Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas killed 41 people. Another 20 died near a food distribution site. Tear gas fired into a crowd led to a stampede. President Trump will host Qatar's prime minister today, trying to work out a ceasefire for Gaza. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a phone on us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable, nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Grow your business organically with Atlanta's fastest growing news and talk station, Extra 1063. Get started today by emailing sales@xtra1063.com.
Just support the folks that support your way of living, the way that you believe things should be. Those companies that advertise here on Extra 1063 that share your values. If you don't need a roof, don't call Southern Exteriors until you do. But when you do need a roof, give them the first chance to earn your business. That's all we ask. This is the Morning Xtra on Extra 1063. They're starting to dismantle what is the all-star atmosphere here at the Battery, Truist Park. It was a tremendous run this week, and the week leading up have been so incredible. It was a star-studded, to say the least. Well,
you were there.
Let me tell you.
Stars were out, man.
I mean, leading up to it, though, that big old red carpet thing that they did with there's just stars. There's stars.
I'm sorry I just did that to you.
That's all right.
I love AI.
Some of those stars probably sold their soul to Beelzebub. That's my guess.
We have a coworker of ours that asked for his X question of the day, who sold their soul to Beelzebub.
And so
I took an image of him and I added devil horns and everything
and a tail. That's the kicker, so you can see the tail.
So you'll see this on X very soon.
At Front Office Lowe's, at Whiskey Click, at Extra 1063. You can find me at Tug Coward. Dude, that's genius, and his ears are all long and like devil-like. And that look on his face where he looks like he's contemplating how evil can I do this? Like, how evil can I be today? How devil-like.
Okay,
we get enjoyment out of Nick Tellini is one of the funniest people.
He's one of the funniest people around
in the world. And he and Chris Domino do the show over on our sister station, The Fan.
Do I actually partake in the post, or do I? Well, no, I'm just saying, do I quote it so everybody sees the image?
Yes. The more people who see it, the better. Okay. However, whatever tactic you need to take.
I'll make sure that everyone sees this, including our audience as well. That's right. We've created an image that...
Dude, in the contemplating mind, the face of physically thinking about what can I do that would be damn evil today.
Okay, I just put it out there.
All right, so if you see it, make sure you maybe we'll jump in. Maybe we'll rob their Twitter question of the day, their X question of the day.
Who sold their soul to Beelzebub?
I mean, look, Barack Obama comes to mind. I mean, to take back to politics.
There we go.
But yesterday it was because I'd gone home to get some work done and Ubered back over, but my wife was sending me pictures of the red carpet and just crazy amounts of stars, and obviously the players and their families, and there's just so many people here, and that made this event what it was, and Atlanta hosted it so well, and the Braves hosted it so well. they finally got their due after being robbed in 2021 by Rob Manfred and Delta and Coca-Cola. Shame on all of y'all.
And I did get a chance to watch the Hank Aaron tribute.
Dude, is it not amazing?
It is incredible.
I don't know. I mean,
the on-field graphics.
Never seen anything like it.
The way they reenacted the whole evening.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, the fireworks with then the location on the field where that ball landed.
Yeah.
That was great.
Dude, so it was they timed it up. So as the audio of Hank Aaron,
the play-by-play call,
yes, him hitting the ball and a firework launches from home plate, and then ultimately a light shining up in the sky. Think like they did with the 9/11 with the Twin Towers, just the whatever those spotlights are, to the point, to the moment in that exact location that he hit that ball. It's the coolest thing you'll ever see.
And that's Milo Hamilton, if I remember.
Well, they used a bunch because
he's the one who makes the big call, from Al Downing, and if I remember correctly. And so they time it up with his call of the homer, and it looks so cool. So this is a big night, a big weekend. The way that the Battery was portrayed, how versatile this place is, how many events that they had. It's just great all the way around.
Yeah, it really was cool. So if you were down here, you got to see it and be a part of it. Even the All-Star Village over the Cobb Galleria was extraordinary, and all the interactive things that they were doing for kids over there. And I just saw this for the first time, Los, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. That new little area that's inside the fence at Truist, but they have the wiffle ball field that they just put in this year. I walked by it for the first time last night. That's the coolest thing ever.
They showed
kids lined up just to be able to hit, and they've got a wall out there so you can make it a home run.
It was that series with who was it that was previously through here with the Angels, where I saw it for the first time. I was like, pretty cool setup.
Dude, it's so freaking cool. What is better than going to the big league park and having a mini version that you can play on, and they use real bases. Because, it is a full-on mini field, actual Major League bases. It just looks incredible. It's just another small thing. And that's what it is, really. It's always the small things that make the biggest difference, and they've done such a good job. So seeing it tore down is or being dismantled is certainly sad, but don't be sad that it is
you
over.
You got to go.
Be happy that it happened. That's exactly right. This is the Morning Xtra, Tug and Los until 10. So many things to get into when it comes to politics. And the Democrats, they have a particular need to remain viable. They have a particular need that it's a little bit dirty, Los, a little bit filthy.
Yeah, this was just a little bit of a reminder that over the course of history, you have had now the Democrats, and at the time, during the 1860s, what led to the Civil War, it was the Southern Democrats. And both of them required the same thing. Cheap labor that they could basically enslave. That has been their history, and that has never changed. Now, we do talk about Chamber of Commerce Republicans who they want to keep wages down.
Heck yes, they do.
But they don't have a history of slavery. Okay? But as you have Democrats that are actually going on television, not just some local, they're going on CNN and MSNBC and the big networks, and they're telling us all about how these migrant children were needed for these fields.
The marijuana fields.
Wait, hold on a second. If you ever just step aside from politics for the moment and say, do you listen to what hoops you're jumping through in order to support this? And the word is always gone. I heard actually Buck Sexton bringing this up yesterday when he talked about how the line is always, well, these people are doing jobs that regular Americans won't do.
Which we know is not the truth.
It's pretty incredible the jobs that Americans will do when it's not a slave wage or an indentured servitude wage.
That's exactly right. And we learned that with that meatpacking facility in Nebraska that got raided, over 100 people taken out of there the next day. Place is full of everyday Americans applying for jobs because they knew they needed somebody right away, and those wages were going to go up. All of a sudden, the supply of people wasn't there, and the demand for people was.
We saw this also, and I believe it was Pennsylvania, where we saw the documentary about how they were bringing, obviously people had come over from Haiti, and they were putting the Haitians into these meatpacking facilities, and doing the same thing. We have control of the housing. We bust them over. We now have them show up to work. And the locals had flat out brought it up. This is typically an $18 an hour job. But when you brought in these Haitians, now it's $12. Now you might be saying, well, it's just $6. Well, start doing the math on that.
And
it's
what
like
that adds up to
it really
each week.
becomes significant when they're able to cut their costs by 30% and it screws over regular Americans.
Yeah, and who's signing up for a lesser paying job? If you walked into your office today and they're saying, hey, you know, we're gonna peel back $1 an hour, you'd be like, no, you're not. No, you're not. So when you say it's only $6, when you start thinking, when you put that into play, when you put that into practice, hey, we're going to take $1 away from your wages today. No, you're not. You would put your foot down. And that's exactly what should be done. We should demand that Americans have the best opportunity to make a living. And I look, I'm for companies making as much money as they can. I love capitalism. But I don't believe in bringing in a slave labor to take a job, first of all, because it's immoral, and then second of all, because that damages that American that could have a good paying job.
What the numbers basically worked out to, with what's going on in that meatpacking facility, they were saving $1,000 a month per employee when they were using basically the indentured servitude. Now, because again, these people are free. They can come and go if they wanted to, but they won't. So that was the game. And so the Democrats have always depended, because of their history, on this kind of labor, and they will fight for it. And for them, it means votes. That's the way they look at it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it also takes care of
that.
Their history is slavery. All right? Like, that's who's responsible for it. That's who fought for it.
And still fighting for it today.
Very much so.
Still fighting
just a different version of it.
Absolutely. It's, yeah. You know, you always say...
Tell that to Aunt Peg. Be like, that's your history.
Yeah. She would yell and scream and tell me it was mine because I'm a Southerner. She'd be like, you, it's all you know. But, you know, when I think about that, Los, it's not surprising that the Democrats go back to their foundation. Isn't that what people do all the time? You know, when you're brought up a particular way, then you drift from that a little bit as you go into your late teens or 20s and maybe even, you know, mid-20s into your 30s. But at some point, usually, you go back to the foundation, the way you were taught. When you're rearing children, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not unusual that the Democrats do the same thing. It's very human nature to go back to what you know.
It's part of your history.
It's part of your history. Going back to what you know.
And I love always the sides really flipped. No. No, they didn't. Yeah. You're still arguing for the same thing that you were arguing for in the 1860s. Yeah. Who's going to pick this fruit?
Yeah.
Who's going to pick this cotton? Who's going... It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
How many people on that side do you think realize that Lincoln was a Republican?
That the foundation of the Republican Party, which, if you don't know the history, allow me to nerd out real quick. You had the Whig Party. The Whig Party was basically falling apart. It was going to be a party of the past because the abolitionist movement had created what was the Republican Party. And quite simply, Lincoln was not an abolitionist. He believed that slavery would just go away on its own, that it was an ugly spot in American history, and that it was going to go away, that it was not something that was going to stand. And when he would do the Lincoln-Douglas debates, his entire point that he would make is that he doesn't have to free the slaves or stop slavery, that it's going to be something that naturally goes away. So by the time he's now the lead Republican, this is now when he's run for office like 7 or 8 times, and now he actually wins and gets in, the Democrats, the Southern Democrats, not the Northern Democrats, you had several different factions here.
Sure.
But the Southern Democrats were immediately, we're out because the abolitionist party just got their guy in.
Mm-hmm.
And so why was when everything kicked off with Fort Sumter and you know, obviously the secession, Lincoln was looking at it like, I'm not looking to end slavery.
Right.
But that's the way everything went. And that's the way eventually the Civil War ended up turning towards that goal. He just wanted to make sure to keep the Union together.
Which was, I mean, that's his ultimate goal. And look, he was able to do it.
But the Southern Democrats said, you're going to take away from what we're doing.
Our low wage or no wage help, and now they're doing it again. They just how ominous that sounds. that they're doing it again? How filthy is that?
If you ever want to have like a really good view of history, if you want to super nerd out, you can go on YouTube. YouTube, they have reenactments of the Lincoln Douglas debates.
Mm-hmm.
And these are 3 hours. Like, they're long. I think
no moderator either.
No, I think Richard Dreyfuss is one of the people that voices one end or the other. And it is no holds barred. Like, you will hear things you go, oh, you can't say that in modern society.
Right.
But it is the laid out of you and have a much deeper understanding of where the Democrats haven't changed.
And it's still showing up today.
They're have not changed.
Showing their true colors today.
160 years, they have not changed. That is their history. Like, own it, y'all.
Well,
it's yours.
They don't want it.
It's yours.
Actually, they do want it. They just don't want you to know about it.
I got Joe Biden telling me about Jim Eagle. I'm like, who do you think enacted Jim Crow?
Yeah. It was
Southern Democrats.
It was your party, pal.
It was you.
Yeah. Something in a positive direction is the June inflation numbers coming in lower than expected.
We just learned that the June inflation number came in better than expected. Now, the 5th consecutive reading that is lower than, better than expected. What on earth is Jerome Powell doing, keeping interest rates near 20-year highs, pushing credit card rates up there, mortgage rates up there as well, when inflation is clearly under control? It's craziness, and it actually could be resolved very quickly. Some of us are genuinely concerned, the president included, that monetary policy is being unduly influenced by Jerome Powell, more appropriately Too Late's personal feelings about the president and his policy agenda. The solution here is actually pretty simple. The Federal Reserve can open its meetings up to a public live stream, just like the SEC, the FTC, the FCC do. Let the public listen in on exactly how these Fed members are deliberating, because honestly, it doesn't make any sense. With inflation now near a 4-year low, after 5 consecutive better than expected, lower than expected readings, the Federal Reserve is deciding to keep interest rates near 20-year highs.
Dude, I think that's a genius idea. Make it public. Make them stand by the decisions they're making. Make them say, here's why we're doing what we're doing. I know that inflation's way down, but we know better. Here's why we're making that decision, and then open that up to public scrutiny. I think this dude, his name is Jim Fishbeck, he's just an investor that's been very successful. I think his idea is genius to put him on the hot seat.
The last time something like this occurred, I think I ran around my house wanting to burn it all down. So the last time that I took part in any of this or watching any of this, there was a panel. It was like 12 or 14 people with like the FDA. And that was the day that they were discussing whether or not to put the COVID vaccine, which is worthless, on the child program to enforce it. Like, if you want to go to school, you have to do this. And you had one expert after another that kept coming on and saying, here's what's happening, here's what we're finding, here's the information. And all 12 of them like nodding. And then it went to a vote, and it was all 12 on.
Yeah, I do. I remember this.
It didn't matter. And so as much as I'm like, put it on C-SPAN, let's see what, unless you do something about Jerome Powell is a backstop as a fight against Donald Trump. That's all he is as of now. Because the economic data, the very creation of the Fed is to keep inflation under control. If inflation's under control for now 5-6 months,
what's the hold up?
Why are we sitting with some of the highest interest rates in the Western world?
But back to that panel, because you and I remember us discussing it on the show the next day. Look at the public scrutiny that came because of it. Now, you're right, it didn't change anything in the moment. But now looking back, you know everything that you know about COVID, that it's all bull crap, and you know that every one of those people were frauds, and you
had to axe them all.
You had to get rid of every one of them.
The same way you're going to have to do this.
Exactly. But I love the openness. I love transparency. And you've said something that I think is the smartest, and is that sunlight is the disinfectant for everything. Make them say it out loud.
Show me the economic data that is influencing this decision.
Yeah.
If it's legitimate, because right now, the economic data that we all work off of, that we all read into, that the government produces on a monthly basis, all says that this rate needs to be moved down.
5 straight months. Donald Trump said he would get inflation under control, and he's done it. Everything that he said he was going to do, he has done. I love the fact.
With one little exception.
With the exception. Yeah. But one, when it comes to, and using your words, that matters to you, that influences you, that affects you, other than the speed bump and the mess that is the Epstein thing, everything else he's delivered on.
And once you get, and now we're at 49 days, once you get some resolution in Ukraine with the Russians and the Ukrainians, man, that's going to have another thing that's going to make the left go nuts.
Yes, it is.
You said he would do it in the day one.
That's
he
right.
didn't do it on day one.
It was 6 months.
Sometimes a war going on 4 years takes a little bit more than one day.
And look.
And I'm fine with that.
But here's the deal. It's not for lack of effort.
No.
And that's the other thing. You can't dismiss the fact that the dude's been in there. He's talked to Zelensky, then kicked Zelensky out. He's talked to Putin, and now he's telling Putin, we're going to give these people everything they need through NATO, but everything they need to destroy you. It's almost like he's ramping this up a little bit to try to resolve it, which may seem counterintuitive, but I think it's pretty smart. Make them understand that they're about to experience some pain. When we come back on Extra 106.3, MTG made it clear what the Dems were trying to accomplish yesterday on Capitol Hill. Next on Extra.
Neil Boyce is only live on Extra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Extra 106.3 app.
Good morning, Atlanta. Let's talk about True Prep. That is the store, as I'd like to joke around, it's a playland for adults like me. Okay, I love everything that goes on at True Prep, and I'm a regular person when it goes over to True Prep and their website, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. You are going to find not just some of the coolest gear out there, but when it comes to sales and clearance items, they update that on a daily basis. Their used guns and gear, they update that on a regular basis. And also, when you talk about not just on the front end, you know, whether it's like for me, I like food security. That's what I keep in my basement. I've got all the freeze-dried stuff so that if anything happens, get it taken care of. But when it comes to personal security, maybe when you're out and about or at home, you want to have that. Well, one of the things that True Prep also does, not only is able to sell you the weapons and ammunition, able to sell you that gun, but they can also train you up on it. True Prep has regular training courses. They just had this one this past Sunday. They've now added 2 additional dates in August for their first-time gun buyer prep course. It's set up so that once you make that purchase, you then also have the training in order to be comfortable with that firearm. The next one's coming up on August 3rd in order to meet demands. So what do? Go to True Prep. Head on over to Cobb Parkway in Marietta or go to trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com so you can prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and it's going to be harder than ever to get fair treatment on your personal injury claim. If you have been injured through no fault of your own, call me. You need a real lawyer, and that's who we are. We're not some TV and billboard lawyers who don't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 consecutive years, and that's because I try cases and I win cases. We get results for our clients, and we can get results for you. Hagan-Law.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality.
So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The city of Austell has approved a 158% property tax increase. Austell previously held the lowest property taxes in Cobb County for 25 years. Mayor Ollie Clemens said the decision didn't come lightly and was long overdue in order to help the city leaders retain top talent. Austell faced a $1.6 million shortfall in 2024. Marietta City Schools are discussing installing vape detection systems. The proposed Halo smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and vape devices. The CDC reports that 6% of middle and high schoolers admit to using vape products. And the Stanley Cup made its way to Metro Atlanta. The trophy was on display at the Alpharetta Town Green yesterday. Speakers at the event said they hope having the trophy in town will spark interest in bringing the NHL back to Georgia. Last month, the Forsyth County Commission approved the multi-billion-dollar mixed-use development known as The Gathering, which could pave the way for an expansion NHL franchise in Atlanta. Today's weather partly cloudy throughout the day with temperatures rising to the mid-90s. We'll have some pop-up storms throughout the day. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3, 7 o'clock hour brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call, vansantlaw.com. Remember, last week, I guess, we saw the reunion of Black Sabbath. It was Ozzy Osbourne sitting on this big throne-looking thing, final performance. They raised $190 million. It is the biggest charity concert in history, trumping Live Aid and everything else, man. $190 million.
What was the charity?
I don't have any idea. Back to the beginning show, almost to... Fire Aid and Farm Aid combined.
Oh, okay.
That was the charities. But when I saw that, I was like, that's a staggering number. But a friend of mine who works in Nashville, they went to the show. They got tickets, bought tickets, flew, to London to see this show. So when you got people that are just coming from all over the world, I guess it's no surprise that they make that kind of money. They raise that kind of money. But think about it just for a second.
I'm thinking about it now just for a second.
Charity, good-hearted, raising money, good people, helping other people. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne, his old ego, alter ego, his persona is like devil worshiper. You know what I mean? Like
it's a prince of darkness, man.
Right. They don't actually kind of go together. You wouldn't think of the devil himself like Nick Cellini. We've seen him as the devil today. He's not raising $190 million to help Farm Aid and Fire Aid and all these other things. It's just funny to me that Ozzy's persona is that of evil, biting heads off of bats and all the crazy stuff that he's done.
But look how he's going out.
And look how he's going out, raising a whole bunch of money for charity, which is cool. But just the whole idea of it kind of stands out.
So I was thinking about this, actually, of all things this morning.
Okay.
How many times do you have, and you've seen this a lot when it comes to country music, but how many times you have like a talent and then you're trying to market it and you get a record executive or anybody else who say, like, hey, we like what you're doing, but we got to dress it up in this way. And when it came to Ozzy, it was like, you have to be the Prince of Darkness.
What do you think?
We're going to sell it this way.
That's right.
Like, if you've ever seen Alice Cooper on a golf course,
dude,
Alice Cooper is not the hat and,
and the black
eyes and all that sort of. I was like, the dude is like a regular guy who likes playing golf.
And he's like a scratch golfer. He's really good.
Yeah, he's a regular nice guy who likes playing golf. But in the 70s, they're like, dude, Alice, you got to change this up a little bit.
What we're going to do is we're going to have you sing School's Out for summer, but we're going to put a guillotine on stage. And we're going to lay a dummy on there, and you're going to chop its head off. What do you think?
Is this going to work for you?
Yeah, and apparently it did, because he made a bunch of them.
And by the way, they weren't like, okay, listen here, Vince, it's a good idea, but you can't be known as Vince.
No.
Because that's not rock and roll enough. You're now Alice Cooper.
What do you think?
Not Vince Fournier.
Yeah, the scratch golfer. Absolutely.
So the fact that was how Ozzy was done.
Yeah.
I get it.
With all the drugs and all that sort of stuff, but I mean, Black Sabbath, the music's relatively dark, War Pigs, and Paranoid. Just think about all the stuff that they do. It lends itself to that persona. It lends itself to what it became, but just funny that they're raising money for farmers. And none of it makes sense.
And you know who the one...
I love it. It just didn't make sense.
You know who the one that it hit me was?
Who's that?
I was thinking, you remember Prodigy?
Yeah. The 90s?
The English, like...
I'm a fire starter. I'm the instigator.
Okay. Did you not think to yourself, like, they probably had, like, a pretty cool gimmick, a neat sound, and somebody said, okay, we need to shave your head into devil horns.
That's right. What do you think?
Because if you're going to do this and we're going to sell it, we need to shave your head into devil horns.
Some record label executive was like, here's what we do.
Right now, that dude's on a golf course somewhere going, back in the 90s, they shaved my head into devil horns to sell my music.
And I thought it was pretty good without it, but it worked. And now I'm on the golf course because I can afford to be. And everybody else, all the rest of them are going to work. It's just funny when it shakes out like that. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra.
See, you just need these devil horns, man.
I know.
You just look too normal.
That's right. I'm trying to think of the other song. They had Firestarter, and then there was another. They had one other hit.
Smack My B Up.
Oh, that's it.
Another one.
Smack My Up. Yes, that was it, dude.
That's where I thought you were going, Los. I thought you were going to say he raised money for a women's charity or something.
After having the song Smack My Yeah. That's exactly right. That would have kind of been in the same vein of Ozzy, the Devil Man raising money for farmers.
And Keith Flint was the lead singer. He is at the golf course in the sky.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jeez, well, I bet they're good up there.
Kept the haircut right up until the end, though.
He stuck with it.
Yes, sir.
He was like, it worked for so long, I'm not turning it loose now. I'm going to hang on to it. Marjorie Taylor Greene had to set the record straight because the Democrats, of course, they have nothing going on. They're the resistance. That's all they have. So they were like, here's what we'll say. We're going to go and say that House Republicans voted to block the release of the Epstein files.
So that they could get what? They were thinking like an entire news cycle out of this.
Back to marketing.
This is the importance of X, because the Republicans, within about 10 minutes, ran to X and posted, here's what happened, here's what went on. And somebody who really doesn't have a problem with that ever is Marjorie Taylor Greene, who will explain everything about what is going on about everything. I mean, this is still the woman that blew up giant pictures of Hunter Biden during his times of arousal.
Genius move.
And said, here's an 8-foot picture of Hunter doing this.
Talking about rocking the boat.
And everyone going, you can't do that. Well, she did.
She's like, oh, yes, I can.
Oh, yes, I can.
And I will.
Can you enter this giant picture into evidence, please? Right. Take this. Take a listen.
Hunter in stages of undress.
As Marjorie Taylor Greene explains the procedural aspects of what happened that did not allow the Republicans to seriously vote on whether or not the Epstein file should be released.
I got to correct something real quick.
Please.
So it's being reported that House Republicans unanimously voted to block the release of the Epstein files, and I want to straighten out the record right now. That is not true. If I could vote, okay. If I could vote to release the Epstein files, guys, you would have my vote. I would vote yes. Here's what just happened. It was a procedural vote, and we have these all the time. It's called a PQ. It's voting on the previous question. And if the Democrats had won the previous question, which I know sounds insane, it's one of these crazy rules in the House that are hard to understand, that means they would control the House floor. And that means they could bring up anything. They could bring up impeachment articles against President Trump. They could bring up a whole package of insane Democrat agenda items and force votes on the House floor on these things. That's what we voted against. We never allowed Democrats to have control of the House floor because we control the House floor.
Yes.
So it's a misunderstanding, and I just wanted to straighten that out.
It's the same scenario as she's explaining. It'd be the same thing if your wife wanted the remote control. And you know what's going to happen if she's got to have the remote control. It's going to Mystic River.
That's right.
And you don't want to watch Mystic River anymore. And you're going to watch that and Temptation Island.
Virgin River.
And Love is Blind.
Housewives. And you know what? You're going to get some Christmas in July.
So instead, even though you would like to change the channel to something different, I just got to hold on to this remote.
You don't have the power if you let the remote go.
If I let the remote go, she gets to dictate what's going on for the next several hours, and I don't want that to happen. That's basically how that played out yesterday. It was a procedural vote. They recognize that if we don't vote this thing down right now, they're going to end up being able to take control on the floor.
It really does. It really does show you how desperate the Democrat Party is.
Yeah, where you will throw in, in this case, crazy PQs in order to shoot the wheels off so that...
Or try.
And let's face it, now the Democrats get to claim, see, we told you, Trump doesn't want these files out there, and neither do the Republicans.
But I'll pick up right where you started. Thank God for X.
Yeah, they were able to explain it very quickly, because that got out immediately. The Republicans won't allow a vote on this.
And so remember, I was at the ballpark, so I had no idea about... I kind of saw it bubbling up on social media a little bit. And so by the time this morning when I'm reading about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, how filthy, dirty, low down, despicable can you be? But it shouldn't surprise you because that's what they have to be. I mean, they have no ideas. They have nothing except for gotcha.
They have to hold on to this as long as they can.
They're hoping somebody will pick it up. Like, I've not even seen, we've had it on Morning Joe all morning. I've not even seen it on there. That's how big of a failure that was.
Yeah.
That Morning Joe was like, no, we can't even.
Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, we can't even do this.
But this was what the headlines were. This is what they were looking for. This is from @Breaking911. Breaking, House Republicans vote against the release of the Epstein files. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, right.
And everyone went, what?
Yeah.
And so that's why it was so important to have X, so that people like MTG could get out there immediately and tell you, here's what happened.
Here's what actually
They wanted the remote, and they wanted to put it on Housewives.
And keep it there as long as they possibly could.
They wanted you
you were miserable.
They wanted you to sit through Steel Magnolias again and the remake of Steel Magnolias.
And The Help. They wanted you to watch The
Help. We were going to watch all of it.
Dude, we're just going to watch.
You wanted to watch Poop Cruise on Netflix. And,
well, I don't know that I want.
And they were out there going, no. You want to watch Pretty Woman again?
No, that's the one that my wife stops on every time. It doesn't matter where it is in the movie. That's the one.
I'm busy trying to find Commando somewhere on TV.
Right. Terminator
and they're like no. Yeah.
Give me Rambo 2. Because that's my favorite of the Rambo.
Jure tells his girl, no. I know you've seen Gladiator before, but you're watching it again.
You hand that remote over.
It's the All-Star game tonight.
That's right.
Damn it.
That's right. And try not to even dream about changing it, because we ain't going to. The reason Jerome Powell's days are numbered, next on Extra 106.3 Tug and Los till 10.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The National League, well, they are your All-Star Game winners after a 6-6 final that was settled with a home run swing-off for the first time ever in All-Star game history. Philadelphia Phillies slugger Kyle Schwarber led the National League to a 4-3 home run swing-off advantage to beat the American League. As for the Atlanta Braves, they are now off for the break until Friday. They will return to action at Truist Park, then host the New York Yankees for a weekend series. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Surveys reveal that peace of mind is a paramount concern for people approaching retirement. So, Coach Pete, what helps bring that peace of mind?
That sound means financial fill-up. That means every single year in retirement, you get a new check delivered to your checking account. And if you pass away, your spouse continues to get that check. That's where the value starts really hitting, because a lot of people pass away and they leave their spouse with nothing but bills. And then the spouse has to change zip codes in a bad way, like move out of this neighborhood, move over there to that apartment. So the secret of life is get on that green brick road and make sure that you have that financial fill-up strategy, which will deliver a check to you regardless of what happens in the stock market. This is not stock market money. This is safe money. Now, we like the stock market, but we like the stock market only after we have our safe money and our retirement income number planned out.
A comprehensive review, no cost, no obligation, with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
The EQE electrifies the essence of Mercedes-Benz values. The road to the future might not even be a road. Why not travel in comfort, with confidence, and the competence to meet every new mile with a can-do attitude? That's the aptitude of the EQE SUV. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 Mercedes-Benz EQE 250 Plus SUV, just $659 per month for 36 months with $79.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Day sales event at RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, extended through July 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details. Braves fans can enjoy games all summer long at Truist Park with the T-Mobile Summer Steal Deal. With the Summer Steal, you can choose from one of 3 seating locations for any regular season game, weekends included, and receive a ticket, snack, and a drink for as low as $30. Or if you prefer something different, you can choose any menu item up to $12. Visit Braves.com/steal to purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump is entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
It is time for Jerome Powell to go. He has let us down. He has let his politics overrule what the decisions that he's made that could ultimately benefit the American people, housing, credit card, interest rates. I mean, there's 1,000 things that he is affecting that is detrimental to you listening right now, and me, and Los, and Dre, all of us, because he won't do the right thing.
I was told that egg prices were going to be what they were going to be. And once we pointed out, well, if you don't cull 2 million chickens, turns out the egg prices all end up coming down.
Seems like common sense.
I mean, even Waffle House, we're getting rid of the...
Dude, I've never seen that, ever.
Like, we had a extended $1 per egg. Now that's gone. Thank you, Waffle House.
Amen.
The world is healing.
Yes, it is.
But then I've been told by every analyst from Jim Cramer all the way to everyone on CNBC about what was going to happen if this. What will happen with this policy? What will happen with these tariffs? What will happen if we extend the tax cuts? And every single one of them, because what is the word we get every single month? Oh, it's lower than analysts' expectations.
It just keeps coming in lower.
Every single time.
For 5 months now.
So I'm just saying that if I'm going to trust anyone, it's probably going to be that Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, he seems to have his stuff together.
Now,
Scott Bessent.
If Scott Bessent, I think he's earned this. He has earned the trust, and he has told, what was it that he ended up saying? It was like to Martha McCallum, or who was it that he pointed out on Face the Nation, y'all spent 2 months saying this was going to happen, and then it didn't. Maybe you should trust the people that are actually doing the job.
Yes.
In a very mean, he pretty much petted her on the head and said, I got this from here.
Because I know what I'm doing, and clearly you don't even know the questions to ask.
And by the way, if that comes from a gay man, is that still mansplaining? Because I think that's what makes it more fun. When the only thing he didn't tell her was let me deal with it, sister. Right?
Baby girl.
Baby girl. I got this. Okay? So take a look.
That's the one we're waiting on.
I think I need you all to calm down.
Calm down.
Yeah, I think I saw the picture that's been making its way around of the bomb tech that was in Iraq saying, like, I'm going to go explain something to my wife. It's like, you better have that bomb gear on. You don't know how this is going to play out. You don't know what's going to come your way.
The red wire, the green wire.
That's right.
No.
You don't know. All right, so take a listen. This is Scott Bessent, and this is on the possibility of some of the changes going on at the Fed.
You said previously the interview process would begin later on in the fall. There's been plenty of speculation as to whether that process would be brought forward. Mr. Secretary, do you still, as far as you understand, believe that's when the interview process to replace the Fed chair will begin in the fall, or has a formal process already started?
Well, look, there's a formal process that's already starting. There are a lot of great candidates, and we'll see how rapidly it progresses. It's President Trump's decision, and it will move at his speed.
So in the last 24 hours, it is, this guy's going to go.
Well,
we'll see.
The fact that they already have people that we're thinking might be a good replacement, that's foreshadowing at its finest.
His term runs out in 2026. So you were already going to start this process anyway. Now it's a matter of, is it going to happen faster? We have the next Fed meeting that's going to be on July 29th and 30th. That's when the next time we're coming around on this. And if Bessent's running this, let's just say, for instance, he steps in as the Fed chair, even if it's on a temporary basis, and he says, based on the economic indicators, I don't believe that moving the interest rate significantly right now, maybe we'd see it. Remember, we saw it move.
Under Biden, the last one was 50 basis points.
Because it was there to help Kamala Harris with the election. So don't tell me this isn't being done for political
100%
for political points.
Yeah.
Okay? Like that has been the game that they've been. This isn't about politics. Well, if the economic indicators that we normally go by say this should come down, fine. But if Bessent tells me these are the reasons why, I'm going to say this guy's a straight shooter.
Yeah, he's got it. I understand.
All because Powell was playing that game during the election.
But that's the thing. When you get somebody in there that he understands what Trump's trying to do. He understands the policy behind it, and he makes a decision. You're going to give him at least the benefit of the doubt. Something tells me, though, it will be, let's cut this rate, even if it's a quarter. He could, if he were in that position, he could literally light the fire that Jerome Powell refuses to light.
Because everywhere else in the Western world where we've seen these cuts, they're not dealing with any kind of crazy inflation either.
Freaking Argentina.
And the scare tactic is always going to be like, what happens when inflation goes crazy again? You have a totally different structure of the economy as of right now. So I'm very curious to see if this will go down in the next 24 hours. I've been told that it's going to happen in the next 24 hours. My Waffle House girl, Anna Paulina Luna, swears by it.
How you doing,
and that's
girl?
good enough for me.
Absolutely. What she says is enough to take to the bank. Although she is pretty dialed in. There's not many times that she's spoken, and whatever the topic, that went a completely different direction.
She was one of the first ones to explain the procedural vote yesterday. She also delivered me some alien files, which that was greatly appreciated. Got some really cool images of some flying saucers now.
Here I was watching baseballs fly out of the park, and you're watching flying objects.
I'm like, ooh.
Totally different kind.
Thank you. Thank you, Congresswoman. But yeah, she's the one who pointed out. Like last night, she's like, this is going down.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. In fact, I want to see if she's got any updates on this.
Just reading from the conservative alternative. Said Jerome Powell basically ushered in a systematic destruction of the U.S. dollar. 5 years, our currency is depreciated by negative 20%. Never before in history has that happened. He will be remembered, Jerome Powell, as the worst Fed chair of all time. And he still is so stubborn, or his politics dictate the way he decides what he's going to do, that affects you and I. That's the thing that should piss you off the worst, because you're directly being affected by it. Your interest rates, your credit card rates, I mean, those things matter.
When I get into my Epstein soapbox and I start telling you about, if you find out whatever you find out, whatever it is you need to be like, okay, now they've been truthful with me. Does your Epstein prize come in the mail the next day?
No. And your interest rates remain high.
But your credit card bill does.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't change.
Maybe as just like as the new mayor of Realville, these are the things that I'm focused on.
That's right. As you should be.
And I said I wanted an honest government.
What did I tell you? My mama said day before yesterday, I'm driving home.
Why are they still talking about this?
I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of it.
I think the general, but then Rasmussen's had the polling about how big of a deal it is.
I know. I get it. And I understand. I get people want justice for someone that's been taken, because you have daughters, I have nieces.
I want justice for my dollar.
Right.
You know?
Right. We want justice across the board, though. So I understand why people are furious by it, because some dude, filthy, took advantage of these young girls. I mean, it's disgusting. It's filthy. But it doesn't stop the credit card bill from coming. Even if you know, it doesn't stop the credit card bill from coming. And the dude's dead. What? And I don't know what the justice will be for those girls. Total side note. Like, I don't know what that is. What does that look like? Do they get a $100 million payout? What is the... Because there's nothing that fixes what happened. Nothing.
If I was to put forth the hypothetical that there was a guy who was trafficking young women, minors, for sex with people, we would all say, okay, he needs to go to jail, he needs to be under the jail, he needs to be dead. And he is. If I was to say, this guy's doing this in the interest of intelligence for a multitude of countries, is it no surprise in why this has played out the way it has?
Of course. It's so obvious.
So what do you need?
Yeah.
Do you need... Do you need to be told that this was a multi-country intelligence operation in order to get leverage on important people?
Because it's been happening since the beginning of time.
We've been doing this since the 50s and 60s, like with regularity.
But I would say since the beginning of time.
Oh, of course.
You know,
the honeypot scheme,
dude.
There's a reason why it's known as honeypots.
And because it works.
Because it works. Because it's undefeated, y'all.
Dude, and it will always be that way. It will always be that way, undefeated.
But so we'll see how this plays out with today. Again, the rules, the laws are what they are. You can't just get rid of Jerome Powell unless he steps down. He has to be fired with cause.
I bet they can find some calls. Something tells me they'd be able to locate it. Depends on how much gas you want to put on the fire.
But that's Anna Paulina Luna saying that firing is imminent.
The New York Times thinks it's okay to stop snubbing your family. Wow, that's awful nice of them. Next on Xtra 106.3.
for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, if things went as planned last night, a guy named Michael Bernard Bell was executed in the state of Florida. If he wasn't, he soon will be. That is the 8th execution in Florida so far this year. There are 9 more executions scheduled. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has no problem at all signing the death warrant for these people, and I have no problem with him doing so. The only thing that is wrong with the death penalty is that the murderers who are sent to death row don't get executed soon enough. And I, of course, as a brilliant member of the Georgia State Bar, have a solution. You want to slow down murders in the state of Georgia? You want to make these thugs and gangbangers truly worried about being executed? Do this. Have an appeals court judge sit in on every death penalty trial. That judge will consider an automatic appeal when that trial is over. And if he rules that the trial was done fairly, the appeal is turned down, then an execution is scheduled to take place within 30 days. And to make it even more special, you do not set an execution date. You tell the killer that one morning within the next 30 days or so, we're going to knock on your cell door and say, "Come with us, pal." And it'll be your trip to Old Sparky or the gas chamber or the lethal injection or whatever. And by the way, if you are going to ride Old Sparky, and I wish they'd bring that back, you will not be allowed to eat raw popcorn before the execution. And one more thing. How about this? You die the same way your victim died. Watch murders drop to about nothing. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Fox Country.
I'm Michelle Polino. George Strait is looking to help out flood victims in his home state. Straight to the Heart is a benefit concert to help support those impacted by the devastating floods in Texas Hill Country. The concert will take place Sunday, July 27th in Bourne, Texas at Estancia at Thunder Valley Indoor Arena. The event aims to provide direct, immediate support to flood victims while honoring the first responders who risked their lives to save others. Strait will be joined by a star-studded lineup, including Riley Green, Jamie Johnson, Randy Houser, and more. Meanwhile, Green welcomed a very special guest to the stage over the weekend at Chicago's Windy City Smokeout. During his set, he brought up First Lieutenant Jackson Perkins of the United States Marine Corps, who joined him to deliver a rendition of Jamie Johnson's In Color. That's Fox Country on Fox News.
We don't want to move on. We want to know what the freaking thing is about Jeffrey Epstein and who's involved and who is doing what with little girls, and let's out them and be done with it.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
It's funding first flagged by DOGE. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. In a bill that's advanced in the Senate, the Majority Leader John Thune says
target some of the egregious misuses of taxpayer dollars.
It's called a rescissions package, clawing back more than $9 billion in already approved funding, most of it in foreign aid, the rest for PBS and NPR.
Republicans say silencing public broadcasting is long overdue. There's a race for the Senate and House to pass the same bill by a Friday night deadline, but the Senate changes could complicate that. The court votes GOP leaders slashed $400 million in cuts from the package, restoring money for the global AIDS program known as PEPFAR.
That's Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. 3 Republicans opposed the legislation, so Vice President Vance had to cast a tie-breaking vote last night to move it forward. Next up, amendments and then final passage. The House plans to vote today on cryptocurrency legislation, including new regulations on what are called stable coins, the value tied to the U.S. dollar. The number of illegal border crossings keeps dropping. The number of people Detained coming into the U.S. last month, just over 8,000, a new all-time low. However, in the pushback to the Trump mass deportation push,
the Department of Homeland Security reveals immigration and customs enforcement officials have faced an 830% increase in assaults from January 21st to July 14th compared with the same period last year. In a statement, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin details several instances, including ICE officers being doxxed and threatened by local Antifa-affiliated organizations.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. In Texas, the FBI arrested a man wanted for attempted murder, accused of taking part in an ambush on agents at an immigration detention center there. There's an empty cell on Florida's death row after the 26th execution this year in the U.S., more than all of last year. And before convicted double murderer Michael Bell got his lethal injection last night, his last words were, "Thank you for not letting me spend the rest of my life in prison." America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a phone on us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Day after the All-Star game, Atlanta and the Battery getting back to normal. You had SEC Media Days in town. Los pointed it out in the 6 o'clock hour. Just the center of the universe for sports was Atlanta, Georgia. At least the sports that matter in the Southeast. You know, nothing like college football and then Major League Baseball right there neck and neck.
Yeah, it's this was the place to be if you were covering sports for the last 3 days. And so awesome for the city of Atlanta to be able to host these sort of things.
Because I was so focused on the All-Star game, I feel like I missed out on a lot of SEC Media Day. So I don't really know what happened over there. I mean, obviously all the big players were there, and I know Kirby, spoke, and I think he was on our sister station, The Fan.
Yeah.
Was there any huge takeaways? Is there anything that was earth-shattering that changes college football, like some new rules that we did?
It really was an Arch Manning rock concert.
Just he was the rock star. I did see there was some post of him up in a hotel room or something.
It's here's what's going to be coming to the SEC. Yeah. Again, another Manning in the SEC.
Yeah.
And so that was the buzz to go along with, like Georgia's always going to have their angle. They're going to have a first-year starter in Gunnar Stockton. And they'll, based off of what he did in the SEC championship game and then the playoffs, it looks like they're in pretty good hands. But they remain strong. And then, Alabama trying to get back into the elite category. So, it's just some of the discussion talking points around the SEC Media Days.
I don't know that I think Alabama hired the right coach. But I will say, not because he's not talented, because he is. I just don't know that you ever want to be the guy that follows Nick Saban.
It's impossible.
You can't.
It's impossible.
You can't ever live up to that standard. So there's nothing that dude can do to make the Alabama faithful happy.
I think there was only one time where you could say legitimately that maybe the next guy surpassed the previous one. And you got to go back to the 80s at the University of Miami, where Howard Schnellenberger just owned the town. And Miami's a national champion. And so here comes this guy from Oklahoma State to follow him in Jimmy Johnson. And then Dennis Erickson. So it's like they had this run where it's like, but again, you had so much of a recruiting hotbed there that you were able to always get the kids. But it's damn near impossible to ever be like, who do you think follows Kirby Smart?
Somebody that will be.
Well, you better call Oregon.
Right. Get Dan Lanning.
Yeah,
to get him back in here. But even then, There's going to be.
There's one.
He's not Kirby.
No.
Kirby wouldn't have done that. That's not the way Kirby would have done it.
Yeah.
And look, I love Kirby. He's not Nick Saban. And there's nothing that lives up to that. Because, as like you're saying, it's going to be tough enough for Kirby. Nobody. I mean, the good Lord himself could come down from heaven and be the head coach of Alabama. And those Alabama fans would be like, Jesus, you're getting it wrong.
When Kalen
Saban wouldn't have done that.
When Kalen DeBoer, he is the head football coach, University of Alabama. And again, accomplished guy.
Yeah.
He's won everywhere he's been. He was a turnaround artist. Took Washington to the playoffs. He's a good coach.
Yeah, he is.
When Kalen DeBoer had an ice cream day last year during camp,
I remember this.
People freaked out because they're like, Coach never gave him ice cream. Why'd you give him ice cream?
You're going to make them soft and heavy and slow?
Then they have 3 losses, and they're like, I told you,
It's
with
the
ice
damn
cream.
Ice cream. Stupid Joe Biden and his ice cream.
That's the kind of scrutiny that when you try and do most coaches always have some. If you're going to use the hard tactics on guys, you also got to have the other end of it. And that was the thing that Saban really had a good hold of. Nick Saban, for as much of a taskmaster and disciplinarian, man, every time he got a chance, he went and took his players out on the lake in his boat.
That's right.
Or had them to his house.
Yeah.
So it's like we have this relation. I can coach you hard because you know me and Miss Terry are loving you on the other end of it too.
Take a look at this Ferrari. Have a seat in it.
Have a seat in it. Kalen DeBoer was just trying to give you some ice cream. Every coach does this, but that ended up being Coach didn't do ice cream. You're not supposed to give him ice cream.
And that's one thing. If you're a Georgia fan and appreciate what Nick Saban is, that's what Kirby learned from Nick Saban. Is he coaches those kids up hard, but he loves on them. Man, he will cuss them up one side and down the other, but after the game, every one of those kids knows what corner Kirby Smart is in, and it is their corner. No doubt about it.
Paul Feinbaum on DeBoer having an ice cream truck to practice. Quote, reminds me of Mike Shula. Telling you can't.
There's nobody.
Because it's following Saban.
Dude, you can't.
There's just
no way to do it. Bless your heart. That's something we say in the South. And it can go 1,000 different ways. You could be like, oh, my God, bless their heart. That's terrible. It's awful news. I feel for them.
Use it the way I like it.
Or the little pat on the head. Bless your heart. What a dummy. This is...
I know you just can't function. Bless your heart.
And that's what the New York Times did. That's the article that they wrote. This is conservatives are so stupid... We need to pat them on the head and say, bless your heart. Their article says it's time to stop snubbing your right-wing family. They're so stupid. They'll never get it. You're so well-educated. You're smarter than everybody else. They're never going to get it. So it's time. We've moved. We're 5 years past COVID. Now's the time to invite them back into the house. I know they were probably trying to go to college football games during COVID. Cheer on Nick Saban, cheer on Kirby Smart like a bunch of fools, 90,000 people. No mask, ain't a soul in that stadium got a shot.
If I may, when we were in Indianapolis, in that town for Indiana, which is red, and it's a red state, but just like most of these red states, that area, downtown area, it's blue. Just what it is. That's typical of cities.
Yeah.
They looked at us like we had 3 heads.
I couldn't believe you.
Because all they saw were Alabama fans and Georgia fans all walking around having a good time, going into restaurants, doing their thing, and they're looking around with their masks going, these people are nuts. No wonder they're all dying.
Little did they know, none of us were.
We were all fine.
And those players were even at less of a risk.
They were good too.
But the New York Times, they still don't know that. They still think, Los, that we're a threat to civilized society. They still feel that way. Yet, they're like, they've been wrong about everything, but it's time to move on. They physically think that it's okay now to invite your family back to your house or even go to their house. Because during COVID, remember families were falling apart. They were fighting over this. People couldn't get along because one family member was, 90 shots in and wearing a mask at Thanksgiving, of all places.
I was told, and this was back in Christmas of 2021, I believe, Yeah, 2021. As we are driving to go see my family, my wife's family, my in-laws, I said, just know that we're going to be the weirdos. She's like, why? I go, well, our kids are at school. I was like, we're going to be the strange ones. And by the time that, because it was, Christmas is always a little crazy because it's Christmas, and then basically 4 days later, it's my daughter's birthday. So she was having, I think it was at that point, it's like her 11th birthday. Here comes the birthday cake. She blows out the candles. My brother-in-law and his family wouldn't touch the cake.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, as we're doing Christmas outside and her birthday outside.
It's December, Los.
In December in Alabama. It's not even warm there.
Yeah.
But that's the hoops that you made me jump through, and yet the New York Times is saying that now it's time for you to give me some leeway. Bless my heart.
Dude, this is the most elitist way of looking at things that you could possibly look at. This is the 20% of crazies that still think Joe Biden's just fine, that still think you and I are the problem. This is their way of basically saying, okay, let's move on. We didn't do anything wrong. It was still all them, but it's okay now.
She blew out the candles on her birthday cake, and they wouldn't touch the birthday cake. You want to know that moment where I looked at my wife and went, see the alternate reality they're living in versus what we're doing? We just had a birthday cake for an 11-year-old girl, and they won't touch it.
These same people probably that are still getting boosters, I bet.
Nah, not anymore. Not after the heart issues.
Well, okay. So maybe then.
I laugh and I shouldn't be laughing, but I tried to tell you.
Over and over, multiple times.
They only gave me a radio show to tell you, and I tried to tell you.
and you didn't listen. The people that they are talking to, those New York Times readers, because that's only the lefty loonies are left reading that. Those clowns are still getting shots and boosters and wearing masks outside and supporting Hamas. I mean, who would have thought that those would dovetail so nicely?
Here would be the cult that you would find yourself in.
Dude, it's nuts. Not only we're going to inject ourselves and our kids with crazy experimental drugs, we're also going to support a terrorist organization. And
How do these all align?
And it's you that's the problem. You're the problem. I'm the raised. You listening right now, you're the problem. And they support Hamas.
It's the strangest bedfellows.
Dude, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. You have to be freaking crazy. My sweet Aunt Peg is nuts.
Have you ever overcooked a piece of meat?
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh, see, I don't do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
if you actually,
but if I ever actually did, just want to make sure we know this. But you know, when you overcook a piece of meat and suddenly you're like, it ain't good anymore. Like it might have been the best cut of steak. You might have been so excited about this is what I'm going to have the best brisket ever, and then it comes out tasting like a shoe because you spent too long with it. I believe there's a certain point of education where that happens, where you need a mix of education and real-world experience. Like, you have 4 years in the Navy. You have a real-world experience of what has gone on. Had we sent you to college for 4 years, maybe you don't come out the same way. And then I think to myself, when it comes to, like, my friends in academia, they're the nuttiest people I know.
Oh, dude. No doubt.
Like, these are people that went to school and then stayed in academia, and they were like the professor's assistant, and and their views are so out there. You overcook the steak, man. Like, now it's just ruined. Like, now it doesn't have any semblance of reality attached to it anymore. Like, that's what I mean by overcooking a piece of meat. If you are in that education system too long, this is what it does to you. And so there's that balance that I want for my kids. Like, yes, I want you to go to college. I want you to have that degree. At the same time, I need to make sure that you are having enough real-world experience where you realize that this crazy stuff that some of these people buy into, that's not the real world.
And that's where they come back to the foundational stuff that we talked about earlier in the show. Just the fact that when you raise a kid a particular way, most of the time they'll drift a little bit, but they come back to what they've known and what they've been taught most often. And I think that's an important thing. So when they go off to school and they hear all this crazy commie stuff, because you know it's happening, that they're able to look at it and go, I bet there's another side of the story, and have some curiosity. Because that's what college is about, right? Being curious.
Because otherwise you become one of these New York Times people that actually, and I think about it I'll bring it up within our own family. There was a portion of the family that looked at my wife and I, and granted, she's like aligned with what they thought about. They looked at my wife and I like we were nuts. Like somehow we were uneducated or we were foolish because we wanted our kids in school and having social interaction, or we wanted to live our lives regularly, or we wanted to go to places.
You're the problem.
Or we were the ones who decided we're gonna you know what, we're gonna bypass the Uber Eats and instead we're actually gonna go find a patio to hang out and eat at. Like these are the things that they're, oh my God, you can't do that. And I'm telling you, they were so overeducated in all this stuff.
Educated idiots.
Yeah.
Educated idiots.
Lacking real world experience.
1 in 5 Americans is estranged from a family member over politics. The article goes on to say, no one's required to spend time with people that he or she doesn't care for. But for those of us who feel an obligation to shun strategically, need to ask, what has all this banishing accomplished? It's not just ineffective, it's counterproductive.
Oh, how big of them.
My uncle is a fanatical nutball, and I love the dude. And I would never be like, well, don't want to hang out with him over Thanksgiving. I'm like, no, that's not it. That's how nutty must you be over your politics to ostracize people in that way?
The fanatics are like the ones that are writing articles like this. That's the crazies. You know that. I know that. Because we've done everything that we wanted to do, and guess what? We're just fine. We went to college football games. We went to baseball games as soon as we were given the opportunity. And every one of us are just fine.
My nutty uncle is the first person to celebrate when my daughters do anything.
See, that's great. I love it.
Again,
it's not Aunt Peg, same way.
His politics is his politics, and it's way out there. But every single time we get together at Christmas, it's here's a hug, and we start talking about the kiddos and what's going on. I've never thought to myself, well, he's completely opposite of me. I should ostracize him from my life. That's stupid.
But that's the other side. Think about it. That's who's doing this. You just said.
The whole article is based on you cut them off. Now you should probably bring them back.
Now it's okay to bring them back. What about the people that never cut anybody off because our politics have been different? I took Aunt Peg to Charleston to see Jacob play, and the whole time she was trying to push my buttons. The whole time. We're at lunch one day.
Did you know that you elected a dictator?
Dude, you say that in jest. We're sitting there in Charleston.
I know the talking points.
We're sitting there in Charleston, dude. She says to me, he said he was going to be dictator on day one.
You know.
I was like, oh, God.
You know he's going to stop elections, don't you?
That's right. You
know he's not leaving the office once his time's up, right?
He said dictator. Dictators don't leave office. They stay in office forever. They don't leave.
He wasn't even going to leave on January 6th when they stormed the Capitol to take it over.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Do you know those police officers they killed? They did that for Trump. When he got shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, that wasn't even real.
They staged it. They told him when to turn his head. That bullet would come whizzing by. He knew he was safe. This is the craziest, the wildest. And it's us. We're the crazies.
We're the crazy ones.
According to David Litt, the man that wrote this article in the New York Times.
He turned his head just in time by design.
He knew it was coming. They put that. Well, dude, look, Jasmine Crockett said it. Remember 2 days ago we played that cut?
Because they're nuts.
She said, oh, well, the Trump shooters, both of them were MAGA. What?
Yeah, they were so MAGA.
So MAGA.
They decided to want to take his head off.
Right. Well, they told him, Los, it was coming. He was able to turn his head just in time.
I mean, I sound crazy when I talk about UAPs and UFOs.
No, you don't.
They sound crazy when they talk about general stuff that's been in front of your face.
That's right. That's exactly right. David Litt, I want you to know, the man that wrote this article, that it's okay to stop shunning your conservative family members. It's finally okay. They're okay with talking to you again.
Thank you, David.
He's a former Obama speechwriter.
How big of you?
I know. And listen to these books. It's Only Drowning, a true story of learning to surf and search for common ground. buddy, he's in I think a tailspin if he's looking for common ground, because he still believes that he's above you. He still believes that he's better than you. He still believes that he made all the right decisions and you made all the wrong decisions. I don't know how you can trick yourself into thinking that you have done the right thing when it's so obvious that you haven't. No ability to reflect on oneself. David has zero ability to look internally. Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3 8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. The reason people leave blue states for red states, next on Extra.
When conflicts escalate around the world, don't let the mainstream media scare you into believing their narrative. Get it right with Atlanta's only conservative voice. And trust the Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, and our entire lineup to give it to you straight. Don't buy the fear. Just keep it here. Extra 106.3 FM and the all-new Extra app. The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Brandon Hutchison, Executive Vice President and General Manager of Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Make no mistake about it, we're big customers of Georgia Power. It really is a true partnership. We ran NASCAR's highest level of racing in the early days of Atlanta Motor Speedway, Atlanta International Raceway, as it were. They raced twice a year, and that was about it. Right. And then we started figuring out that this is an 850-acre campus that can do so much more. And it's not just the larger events that impact the region, it's the local events that really impact our community. It's a big responsibility for us to be such a big player in our community, and there's no doubt that Georgia Power has fan experience front of mind all the time.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit georgiapower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
Command the road this summer in a new 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab 4-wheel drive Elevation or SLT, powered by the legendary 5.3-liter V8.
Right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, save $10,950 off MSRP, plus take an extra $2,500 off with a qualifying trade for an impressive total savings of $13,450. With more than 80 Sierras in stock at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, you can drive yours home today. Visit JimEllisBuickGMC.com to start or complete your entire purchase online.
Or shop in person on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter, or on Highway 20 in Beaufort. Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Offer applies to 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab and 4-wheel drive Elevation and SLT models with 5.3 V8. Example stock number GS4511, MSRP $67,574. After $10,950 in Jim Ellis discounts, sale price is $56,624. Excludes TABT and state fees. $2,500 trade-in assistance applies to 2011 or newer trade-ins. Expires 7/31/25.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
You ever stop and think, what happens when a nation forgets its own story? We lose our identity. We lose who we are. And sadly, that is what's happening in America right now. And that is why I am so grateful for PragerU. As we approach our 250th birthday, they are leading the charge to restore truth, real American history, patriotism, and common sense. We know this poison is killing our country, but what do? Well, PragerU launched an amazing initiative called America 250, and I want you to get involved like I have. They offer daily challenges and powerful short videos, all for free. And I want you to know I'm involved. I made some videos and we'll be making more from our museum in Dallas. I love what they will teach you and your family, the Constitution, the Founding Fathers, and the principles that our country was built on. We are in a battle for America's soul, and thank God for PragerU. Go to PragerU.com/Glenn. Share it with friends and families, especially young people. It's free and it takes just minutes. Let's teach the truth before it's forever forgotten. Go to PragerU.com/Glenn.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The city of Austell has approved a 158% property tax increase. Austell previously held the lowest property taxes in Cobb County for 25 years. Mayor Ollie Clemens said the decision didn't come lightly and was long overdue in order to help the city leaders retain top talent. Austell faced a $1.6 million shortfall in 2024. Marietta City Schools are discussing installing vape detection systems in schools. The proposed Halo smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and vape devices. The CDC reports that 6% of middle and high schoolers admit to using vape products. And the Stanley Cup made its way to Metro Atlanta. The trophy was on display at the Alpharetta Town Green yesterday. Speakers at the event said they hope having the trophy in town will spark interest in bringing the NHL back to Georgia. Last month, the Forsyth County Commission approved the multi-billion-dollar mixed-use development known as The Gathering, which could pave the way for an expansion NHL franchise in Atlanta. Today's weather partly cloudy throughout the day with temperatures rising to the mid-90s. We'll have some pop-up storms throughout the day. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. I brought up Jasmine Crockett in the last segment because of all the crazy things that she says.
She's the gift that keeps on giving.
Dude.
Wonderfully.
I don't know how anybody listens to her and goes, yep, that's my girl.
There are moments where I'm right there with Neil Bortz when he brought it up as far as wanting Donald Trump to have a throttle back. Like this week, I've been kind of like, dude, I need you to throttle it back a little bit. Jasmine Crockett's the direct opposite. I'm like, keep it coming, girlfriend.
Pedal to the metal.
Pour it on all day long.
Find you a new gas pump, fill it up, and then pour it out on the fire again.
I mean, I get it. They tried to change her hairstyle to soften the image. It's not helping.
No, because her mouth continues to run.
Yes, just keeps rolling.
And it won't stop, and including it's actually states like Georgia and Florida, Texas, Tennessee. They're in bad shape, those according to Jasmine anyway.
Oh, it's terrible. You don't understand. So take a listen. This is Jasmine Crockett yesterday. This is her describing the difference in red states and blue states.
It's like blue states are constantly putting red states on life support, yet we got these little red states that ain't contributing nothing, but they are definitely taking up a lot of money. You know, it is interesting because the governor in California, I don't know if you caught this, but Governor Newsom was talking about just holding on to his dollars because California is what they call a donor state, meaning that they actually contribute more than they take from the federal government. And then you can go down south to states like Louisiana who are broke, and so they need California to pay in.
All right, let's just go through the very simple math here. Louisiana is a state that does not have a ton of Fortune 500s. Okay, it's a state where you got to grind it out. There's a reason why the NFL team is state subsidized. It's the only one in the league. Yet, the state of Louisiana, as of this year, and it's been in recent years, is running a budget surplus of $595 million. California is projected to have a budget deficit of $12 billion this year. And they've been running deficits. They're the ones that are looking at the red states in America going, will you bail us out? Because we got some problems. And yet, in this state, in Georgia, we ran at such a surplus that the governor actually gave you back money.
Mama told me the other day, she's like, Jerry, you won't believe it. $250 showed up in my bank account. I can't even tell why. I was like, Mama, it was the refund. She's like, I didn't hear about no refund. She was so happy.
Love it.
She was over the moon.
I can't wait to go gamble this.
Exactly. I'm going to Cherokee tomorrow.
This is found money. Found money, Jerry.
She had no idea that it was coming. I had to explain to her that the governor said, we've done so well, we're giving you your money back. But Jasmine, on the other hand, she must not have got the memo. She's like, Mama, she didn't know.
How can you be so factually inaccurate?
It's intentional.
All you have to do is look into who's running at a surplus and who's running at a deficit. And unlike the federal government, the reason why you have governors that need to be so responsible, they can't print money.
Get this about Illinois. The Illinois Commission on Government Forecasting and Accountability reported their unfunded liabilities are $143.7 billion, $1.5 billion higher than last year, and these are 2024 numbers, the second highest since 2020, and that total was $144.2 billion. These states are absolutely broken. Gavin Newsom's even saying we got to take illegals off of whatever their California healthcare system is that's government funded, that's state funded. He even says we can't afford it.
If you were to look into the states that are having the biggest issue when it comes to meeting budgets, you're going to find these: New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Illinois, as you pointed out, Colorado, and Washington. The reason why California isn't amongst them is California is, if it was its own country, it'd be one of the biggest GDPs in the world.
The fifth, I believe.
And yet, they're still running such massive deficits that if you would just cut spending, they'd be fine because there's more than enough resources and business running through there, but they won't cut spending. In fact, as you look into what's going on with the Pacific Palisades and no building that's being done, and the people that aren't getting any sort of relief or any sort of money that's coming back their way, in part because they gave it to a bunch of the illegals. They provided them with all. It's not even the American dream. It's a California dream. Just go show up in California. They'll pay for everything. Just show up.
And can't wait to tell you they'll do it.
And the regular Americans get hosed on it.
Every time.
That's why, even at that kind of budget deficit, what she's pointing out is just factually inaccurate. Jasmine Crockett could not be more wrong because many of these states are actually running their states correctly because you can't print money there.
And she knows that. That's the thing that should piss you off. If she were just ignorant, that'd be one thing. You'd be like, man, she's just dumb. She has no idea. She's not a dumb woman.
No, she's playing a game.
She's absolutely playing a game. She knows exactly what she's feeding people because my sweet Aunt Peg will be like, see, here in Georgia, y'all are next.
She's going to lap it up like a cat.
Oh, dude, of course.
She's like, tell me what next, Jasmine.
Florida, Texas, the budget surpluses. Georgia, budget surplus. Tennessee, no state tax, budget surplus. Happens every time. New York, California, and Illinois always are behind. And now they're backpedaling. They're on their heels trying to figure out what they did and how to get out of funding all the things that they've promised and are not going to be able to deliver on.
One of the funny stories that we had that was in the news was talking about what had gone on in 2020 in Washington. And you wonder why they're another one of those states with this massive deficit. In 2020, as everyone is getting even for George Floyd and finding all their social justice and doing what they're doing, they decided, hey, we got Amazon in our backyard. We're going to tax all these companies differently. And what occurred? 5 years later, they're now running massive deficits in the city of Seattle because the businesses left.
Why would you stay there? Like, what would be the incentive to stay in a city like that knowing that they're targeting you?
And the wild part was, we told you. And where are those companies going? Red states.
Every one of them, Jasmine Crockett. Every one of them. It's funny that when you hear socialists talk, because they are very revealing in what they say, whether playing the game like Jasmine or telling you exactly what they plan to do. If you're like Mamdani up in New York, another state that is always, running a deficit, always in bad shape. But this is their thought process, though. Don't mistake their thought process because it's very clear. Listen to Mamdani when he was talking about, hey, if I run out of money, it'll be okay.
I worked until January and then I took time away from my job. And one of the major reasons I could do so was because I knew that if I ran out of my savings, my family would be able to support me.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. What a hookup. What an amazing hookup. Problem is, if you're in that situation and you don't have the family to pick you up, then what do you do? Oh, you probably run for office and say, hey, I'll take those people's money and give it to you. What do you think? Because that's exactly what he's alluding to. Socialists are not afraid to say, I'm going after Los's money.
It's a mindset.
It is. Of course it is.
And when your mindset is, I can always go get it from somebody else, how do you think you govern?
It's back to it goes right along with the red state, blue state.
I really believe you're going to have the scenario because now you have a number of people that are going to run as independents in the city of New York. I think they're going to hand this to Mamdani. I think he's just going to be like, I got it. It's all taken care of.
I think so too.
Then it becomes how fast can you wreck that city? That's what I believe. It'll be so illustrative. As much as I just brought up Seattle and what's going on with business there. They're now running a massive deficit in their city because they ran the companies out. In the entry, they thought we can bilk them in 2020 and they'll stay because they'll do the right thing. And they left. He's going to do the same thing to New York. Like, eventually you just run out of money. Socialists just run out of other people's money.
Other people's money. And wasn't it Margaret Thatcher that said that?
Yeah.
She said at some point you run out of other people's money.
I think it's socialism or communism's great until you run out of other people's money.
Yeah.
And protect criminals instead of the businesses and not enforce the law. Of course these companies are going to leave.
He's supposed to sit down with business leaders in New York today. What's he going to tell them? I mean, what is it that's going to be the message that I'm going to make it so good for you here that you'll want to stay? I'm going to do that by taking everything that you make. I'm going to and give it to somebody else. Who's listening to that? But he's on it. New York Post has got the article today. He's sticking with this. We're going to tax the rich plan. We're going to take money away from those who are willing to work hard and earn it and give it to someone who won't. It never changes. They always have their hand out. Or always have their hand in your pocket. That's what socialism is, and that's what New York and I hate to see it. New York is going to, like Los was talking about Seattle. New York is going to be so banged up. New York, it'll take decades if he's elected, decades for him and New York to recover.
Margaret Thatcher, quote, "The problem with socialism is you eventually run out of other people's money."
Yep.
That's a simple fact of it. And again, New York is a massive economy unto itself. Why would you ever elect somebody that goes completely... Like, New York, there's a reason why it was attacked on 9/11. Because bin Laden looked at it as it's striking at the heart of what's wrong with America, which is capitalism and its wealth and its power. That was the reason. The symbol of that is the trade towers.
Right, and that's the reason they attacked them. That's the reason they're on the ground. I'll raise your taxes and you won't leave. That's what Mamdani has said.
You won't leave.
Who is he trying to convince?
Sounds very Castro, very East Germany of you.
Certainly does.
You're not allowed to leave. Why?
Jamie.
We need you to be productive. You can't leave.
That's right. We won't allow it. We will make sure you're here. We're going to make it so painful for you.
Only communists that choose to. You can't leave here.
It's so good you can't leave.
Why do you think in North Korea, when you try and get out, they shoot you?
Because they need you. They need you and your labor.
It's like, I know you want freedom and all. We're going to shoot you. But so let everyone knows not to go.
I love how Jamie Dimon's like, I'm not sitting down with this fool. And I guarantee there's plenty more like Jamie Dimon, who is not a conservative.
No, not at all. And you wonder when these people are going to use their power to eliminate this person from the race in terms of, are you going to back somebody other viably? Or, it's not beyond people to use dirty tactics to get you out of a race. You think if you offend enough rich people, that would probably happen in New York. And it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet. And the problem is, who do you vote for? Because it's not like Cuomo's is it better than a communist? Yeah. But not much. I mean, Cuomo killed 15,000 people up there.
At least, if you want to compare and go, all right, communism has killed untold millions over its practice, over its 150 years. Cuomo got 15,000. Y'all are about even. But at least Cuomo isn't a communist.
Yeah.
I mean, your policies were so bad that you actually got a bunch of grandmas and grandpas killed with them.
Locking them in adult facilities, whatever, hospitals.
Yeah, send them back.
Yeah.
I know they're sick. Send them back. Well, that's not a great policy.
Terrible idea. Do
Governor.
it anyway.
Security checkpoints on the bridge.
Yeah.
Don't let them in. Don't let them out.
And
but then your other end is Mamdani.
Dude, it's bad. I mean, it's
because Eric Adams is going to run. He's going to run as an independent, which, let's face it, and so's Cuomo apparently.
Yeah, because he lost the Democrat primary to Mamdani. I mean, I guess Eric Adams. I mean, not that he's been great, but at least there is a relationship there with Trump. So maybe there's something good could come of it. I don't know. We'll see how. Poor New York. If you love New York, man, I'm sorry. I don't necessarily love it, so it's fine. They can do whatever they want. I just worry that the communism spreads because it's like a cancer. It just spreads. When we continue on Extra 106.3, a man who didn't vote for Trump now showers him with praise. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The National League, well, they are your All-Star Game winners after a 6-6 final that was settled with a home run swing-off for the first time ever in All-Star Game history. Philadelphia Phillies slugger Kyle Schwarber led the National League to a 4-3 home run swing-off advantage to beat the American League. As for the Atlanta Braves, they are now off for the break until Friday. They will return to action at Truist Park and host the New York Yankees for a weekend series. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Windows, doors, gutters, siding, roofing, it's all the things on the outside of your home. That's what Southern Exteriors specializes in. Those single pane windows that you can't open because they've been painted shut since you bought the house. I know. When we bought our house, we had that too. Southern Exterior is able to take care of that, change out those windows. So not only does your house get a facelift with windows, you can actually open them and get some fresh air in. Or like right now when it's really hot, you keep them closed and all that cool air that you paid for, but you're creating that with your HVAC system, that stays in the house and keeps your house nice and cool. The facelift that the windows and doors give you is great. Gutters look great too. New roof automatically makes the house look extraordinary good. And new siding, man, that is the ultimate facelift. Millworks, that's when Southern Exteriors comes out and they specialize in screened-in porch installations. Perfect outdoor living space for your home and your family. All done with incredible professionalism. They'll have a foreman on site to make sure it goes perfectly. Now, how do you call them? 8779-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. Again, 8779-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co.
Hey, it's Flounder, and I've got two pieces of advice. Marry the girl of your dreams and get the ring at Solomon Brothers. That's what I did. I recently tied the knot, and my wife loves jewelry. So when I heard about Solomon Brothers' Christmas in July event, yeah, I was back in the store. Santa ditched the sleigh for a surfboard, and Solomon Brothers is celebrating with 31% off everything. Rings, necklaces, earrings, you name it. It's all 31% off for the 31 days of July. Premium pieces, unbeatable prices, and yeah, serious brownie points. Solomon Brothers is Atlanta's only 5-star rated jeweler with over 3,000 glowing reviews. They're the preferred jeweler of the Braves, proud partner of the Dogs, and official jeweler of Georgia Tech. So whether you're popping the question, shopping for your wife, or just want to treat yourself, Solomon Brothers is the place. So come see us at Solomon Brothers Jewelers on the 17th floor of Tower Place in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and on Fisher Crossing Drive in Sharpsburg. Or shop online anytime at SolomonBrothers.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models. That means you pay what Ford employees pay, no markup, no hidden fees. It's all part of Ford's bold campaign, from America for America. While other dealerships may raise prices due to auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, the rugged Bronco Bronco, the capable Explorer, and now when you purchase or lease a new Ford EV like the all-electric Mustang Mach-E, you'll receive a complimentary home charger and standard installation, making your switch to electric even easier. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
They're just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road. Visit them online at jimellisford.com.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay, where you can always expect the best.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Again, I have seen like 4 minutes of Field of Dreams. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I know it's wrong.
It'll make you cry in a good way.
I do that every night anyway. That's
better than Ambien.
Well, yeah. Cry myself to sleep.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
First ever tie-breaking swing off in the world in the All-Star game last night. It's so awesome. Kyle Schwarber walks it off for the National League. And I was just telling front office Los, because we were watching the video on the monitor here in the studio, and it's so awesome to see grown men react like 12-year-olds when that ball that Schwarber hit goes out and it won him the game. There's just nothing like dudes out there celebrating like it's the greatest moment of their life. Let's go! Dude, smiles for everybody. Everybody's jumping up, hands in the air. What else other than sports gives you that?
Just a cool moment.
Yeah, it is.
You get to kind of go back to like, I'm just doing, it's an exhibition.
I'm just having fun.
We're just out here with the best in the world. I get to be one of them, and now we're just playing ball. And there's nobody after the game that's going to ask you about the strikeout in the third inning or, did you not get the save done? It's just ball for the sake of ball, and you get to be a kid.
Yeah. And seeing them celebrate that walk-off win was so awesome. God, I love baseball. It's the best. There's just nothing like it. A guy that didn't necessarily have a lot of love for Donald Trump. I don't know that he hated him necessarily, but he didn't vote for him. He wasn't in favor of Trump's tariffs. And he's got a connection to Atlanta. And the fact that he's a co-founder of Home Depot has all of a sudden Los changed his mind.
Yeah, Ken Lagone. This is a guy that's now I think he's in his 90s at this point. He's up there. And when they refer to him as a founder of Home Depot, okay, he was the financier. He was the money guy at the end of what you had, going on. And so he's all about, is this smart money? Where are we investing it? What is it going to mean? So when he has an opinion, he's been a Democrat or a Republican donor for years and years and years. But as you said, wasn't really on board with anything that was Donald Trump. Like, this is the epitome of like establishment donor class guy.
Said out loud, I did not vote for him and I did not support these tariffs.
Right. So take a listen now as he is on, I believe it's CNBC, and they ask him about what is your tune now when it comes to Donald Trump.
Look, let me tell you right now, I am sold on Trump. In fact, I'll say this. I think he's got a good shot at going down in history as one of our best presidents ever.
That is a real turnaround because you didn't want to vote for him.
I tell you the reason. I want to tell you, I'm a believer. What I'm seeing happening is absolutely nothing short of a great thing. And there's a beat. People are walking with more bounce than it's all around.
I gave you quite a bit of grief.
Huh?
I gave you grief.
You give me grief?
I gave you grief when it was a binary choice. You're still complaining about Trump and it was a binary choice. It's like, are you kidding me?
Knowledge implies one thing. When you made a mistake, admit it.
Okay.
I think this guy is turning out to be a president.
Right.
One of the pilots on that miraculous trip to Iran that we wiped out, whatever the hell we wiped out,
right.
He said, you're the only guy that in the presidency that would have done what you did. One of the pilots said that.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's probably right.
That is wild to have somebody flip like that.
Being able to admit you're wrong is an absolute gift, because not only do you gain the respect of the people that you're admitting that you're fallible to, you're able to relook at what you've done and say, you know what? I got it wrong. and I'm going to do it better in the future because of that. You learn from your mistakes. I think that's where we learn the most is when we're in a pickle like that.
I believe we've had, and this was over the course of his first 4 years and what will be these next 4 years, you were going to have missteps by Donald Trump.
Without a doubt.
But I will point out, I don't believe we've had the misstep outside of a global pandemic where it's cost us in our pocketbook. That's where a guy like Ken Lagone is basically pointing out. It's like, I was wrong. Because he's a money man. I mean, this is what he does. It's about what are you creating? What kind of atmosphere for business are you creating in this country? That's where he's pointing this out. And so outside of global pandemic, send everybody home, nobody go to work, we'll print a bunch of money. All right, that was a mistake all the way around. If that is your misstep, then I was very critical of it. That is the one I will point out. But outside of that, at least from a financial perspective and a business perspective, Donald Trump has consistently delivered for this country.
And it has to be satisfying for Donald Trump sitting back, obviously not being part of that broadcast. And it's not like the people on CNBC, I think he has probably a few fans, but by and large, not. To sit back and hear somebody that's respected like that say, I was wrong, this dude's getting it right. And then he went on to say, that I'm really bullish about the future for America and businesses in America and the opportunity for America.
And the tariff plan that went into effect on April 1st, that was supposed to be the
Yeah.
Like, here comes the financial misstep.
Here comes the hammer down. This is where it's going to all fall apart.
And it hasn't happened. Is there something that's lingering out there? The people who seem to be having the success and making stuff happen and creating economic development in this country, they don't seem to have any kind of fear of it.
I don't know if we have that cut. Do you have the cut of Trump talking about the sweet spot, he and Scott Bessent? If not, no worries. But they're basically, Donald Trump was talking about, okay, we found the sweet spot. He and Scott Bessent, we know where we're going to make money. We're going to bring it found money.
Yes.
Because this is found money.
This is access to our markets. We are the biggest consumer market in the world. If you want access to it, you're going to have to pay us for it.
Yeah. And so this money that basically it's like finding $20 in your coat pocket, except it's $100 billion.
Except it's billions.
Yeah, and then going to be $300 billion in the next few months, and then $1.2 trillion over a year, I think is the number that they shared. So for them, they said, we have found that balance. We figured out where can we go that tariffs won't damage, what we're trying to do with the economy. It won't leave shelves empty, but we're still rolling in found money. Dude, that's the sweet spot. When you can locate that, that's the genius move. And I'm sure Ken Lagone's like, aha.
He was probably one of the people, just as in the audio, going, I don't think it's a great idea. Now it's turned into, okay, I wasn't right about that. And as I said, I'm in a wait and see approach because you are depending on other countries seeing the value of being in the American marketplace. And some of them are just going to say, well, I don't want to do that. Well, then you don't really have an export market at that point.
The shades have been raised, sir.
Like, could you imagine if the Chinese were ever like, you know what? We don't want to manufacture iPhones anymore. We don't want to send them to the States. Okay, listen, you can send them to a lot of places. The United States is where the iPhone lives.
That's right. And that's where you're going to sell the most of them.
You're right.
That's where you can sell them for the most profit.
It's very simple economics. It's not difficult.
And believe me, there will be another country going, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. Oh, what kind of tariff? You got it.
No worries, because we're about to fall into a stack of money. We're going to those Obama pallets of money they were sending to Iran. You're about to fall into one of those.
You decided that you wanted to attend the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and you found a suitable price at which you would do it. And what did you get in exchange for it? Memories, okay?
Yeah. Which is the most important thing.
All right, you have a very similar scenario happening with other countries, except they also make money on it in because hey, I got to pay for entry, but once I'm in, all right, this is what we're going to make off of these goods.
Good. It's going to be good.
This
for
is
us.
an exchange based on getting access to the biggest consumer market in the entirety of the world.
And the Chinese being very smart. You don't have to like them. You don't have to agree with their way of operating.
They made a trade deal too.
They absolutely did. And they're trying to still, to this moment, figure out how to go around some of the tariffs by, dumping their goods in Vietnam, putting made in Vietnam, or in Indonesia, and both of those companies have made an agreement with Donald Trump to stop that practice. It's going to be tough to do, but they're willing to do it because they're like, hey, we need the American market. So yes, we're going to do our best to put a stop to all that dumping of goods. The Chinese ain't going to quit trying. But you just see everything trending in the right direction for the United States, and Donald Trump's at the helm. Love him, hate him, doesn't matter. He's going to drag you kicking and screaming across the finish line and hang W's around your neck. Winning, winning, winning. Man, it never gets old. When we come back on Extra 106.3, I don't know what AstroTurf costs if you're going to lay it down at the Little League park or maybe at the high school that your kids go to. But it ain't $20 million. Next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Well, if things went as planned last night, a guy named Michael Bernard Bell was executed in the state of Florida. If he wasn't, he soon will be. That is the 8th execution in Florida so far this year. There are 9 more executions scheduled. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has no problem at all signing the death warrant for these people, and I have no problem with him doing so. The only thing that is wrong with the death penalty is that the murderers who are sent to death row don't get executed soon enough. And I, of course, as a brilliant member of the Georgia State Bar, have a solution. You want to slow down murders in the state of Georgia? You want to make these thugs and gangbangers truly worried about being executed? Do this. Have an appeals court judge sit in on every death penalty trial. That judge will consider an automatic appeal when that trial is over. And if he rules that the trial was done fairly, the appeal is turned down, then an execution is scheduled to take place within 30 days. And to make it even more special, you do not set an execution date. You tell the killer that one morning within the next 30 days or so, we're going to knock on your cell door and say, "Come with us, pal." And it'll be your trip to Old Sparky or the gas chamber or the lethal injection or whatever. And by the way, if you are going to ride Old Sparky, and I wish they'd bring that back, you will not be allowed to eat raw popcorn before the execution. And one more thing. How about this? You die the same way your victim died. Watch murders drop to about nothing. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Here's another theory, the red nail theory. Red nails keep them coming back. The red nail theory is that men are attracted to women who sport red nail polish because it reminds them of their mother.
Or hookers.
French whores.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Fewer migrants are coming and more are leaving. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The number of illegal border crossings last month, the fewest ever recorded.
8,000 U.S. Border Patrol apprehensions nationwide. That is a new historic low. And 0 parole releases compared to 27,766 released in June 2024.
And Fox's Peter Ducey also reports from the White House. The U.S. has sent another flight, deporting immigrants here illegally to an African country, this time Eswatini.
The idea is to show people thinking of coming to the U.S. illegally that if they get caught, they are probably not going to wind up in the U.S. waiting for their court date. They could wind up on a very, very long flight to a developing country that is going to be tough to get out of.
Now, Homeland Security reports an 830% increase in attacks on agents this year, blaming all the anti-ICE protests against immigration raids. Meanwhile, in Texas,
the FBI says Benjamin Song was arrested in Dallas. The 32-year-old wanted for his alleged role in a July 4th attack on the Prairieland Detention Center in Alvarado, Texas. He faces charges including attempted murder of a federal officer, accused of firing 2 AR-15-style rifles at 2 correctional officers and 1 Alvarado police officer.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Vice President Vance cast a tie-breaking vote at the Senate last night, advancing what's called a rescissions package toward a final vote. It would cancel more than $9 billion worth of federal funding already approved, most of it for foreign aid. There's also money for public broadcasting, as Republicans say PBS and NPR have a liberal bias. But Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says that'll affect
local news throughout the country, including in rural areas that lack broadband and other options.
Also in Washington, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is hosting a breakfast for Zoran Mondani, who has quickly built a name for himself after winning the Democratic primary for mayor in New York City, though President Trump says
he's a communist. I don't think our country is ready for a communist, but we're going to see.
America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Can't afford to fill your grocery bags or gas tank? Fill your day with the best conservative talk for free by downloading the Extra 1063 app wherever you download your apps.
Gosh, they did a great job, and I'm sad to see that it's done and over with, but I'm so glad that it happened. All-Star wrapped up last night, and it was just a fun atmosphere. I was so blessed and fortunate to be able to be there. And I told Los this morning that a lot of times when you go to baseball games, because it's a very social game, you know, you can be talking about a business deal or talking about golf or talking about the kids playing ball or band practice or school or whatever the topic. How's your mom and them? Just catching up. And 2 or 3 pitches go by and you can look it up the scoreboard and you're right back in the game. You know exactly what needs to happen next.
Baseball's the talking game.
Yeah, it is. Very much so. Last night was not that. I have never seen it be more of a group of about 42,000 people that just love baseball. That's what it was, hanging on every pitch. When Clayton Kershaw struck out 2 batters, I didn't know this. Lowe's told me he's mic'd up because I'm in the stadium. I can't hear that. He's mic'd up talking to John Smoltz. Smoltz, he tells him, throw a cutter.
He's like, I don't got a cutter, Smoltzy.
What's the problem here? I mean, I know you're a Hall of Famer. I'm bound to be one too. Maybe you should. Come on, dude.
It was funny.
Yeah,
it was a cool, lighthearted moment.
So funny. It's what makes baseball great. I love it. But to see Clayton Kershaw in Truist Park basically get a standing ovation as he's pulled after 2 batters, striking out 2, probably his last All-Star appearance.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. I think he's been to like 11 or 12 of those.
Oh my gosh. And he's such an awesome dude. I think that's another thing I love about baseball, is because baseball is one of those humbling games where you can't be way up here when you're great or way down here when you're having struggles. You got to be even keeled the entire time, and that creates the type of player that is able to laugh even when they're down or be be even keeled when they're way up. It creates a good dynamic in people, I think, and that's why you fall in love with baseball players.
He's a former, when it comes to Clayton Kershaw, Triple Crown winner, so just like we saw last year, 3-time Cy Young, a MVP, and a 5-time ERA champion.
freaking nuts, dude. That dude's
and an 11-time All-Star. So, yeah, whenever he hangs up at 37 years old right now, it'll be like, wait your few years and we'll see you in Cooperstown.
And then, if you back it up even further, didn't he play high school football with Matthew Stafford?
He was the Highland Park guy.
Yeah.
They played sports together.
It's freaking just the coolest, man. Just that little piece of the information. And I would have never known, obviously, Matt, I mean, I guess I would have eventually, Matt, he gets to the NFL, but because he was Georgia's quarterback, I knew him and have followed his career and love who he is as a guy and, how he's a great father, he's a great husband. Same way with Kershaw. They're just cut from the same cloth, just good dudes. You love to see people like that be successful and maintain that level of humbleness, if I'm saying that. I don't know if that's the right word, but of being able to be humble is what I'm saying.
Well, how rare do you have two guys who went to the same school and obviously accomplished what they did? This guy's going to the Hall of Fame. More than likely, Stafford will probably do it as well now that he's an NFL champion. But to have hey, this is a World Series champion over here, and oh, by the way, over here, this guy is a Super Bowl champion.
They played high school ball together.
They played high school ball together, and we're at school together.
How in the world does that happen? God bless America. So cool.
I mean, when at my high school, and we had good players who accomplished some cool stuff and played at really cool places. I got a friend of mine. Well,
it's true.
I went to the Navy. I got a friend of mine who was on Oklahoma's basketball team as a walk-on when they went to the Final Four.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to see him on the sidelines and being like, dude, there's Kano, man. He's on the team. Played there for his 4 years. It's really cool. Then the next thing was, we have a wide receiver that played at Texas. That was a 4th-round pick. Okay, that was it.
No,
imagine you're at Highland Park and you're like, this guy is one of the best of all time in Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
And this guy over here is on commercials every single Sunday and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's our high school.
That's Highland Park.
Yeah. I mean, the closest thing we have to sports for Southeast Whitfield where I went, I tell you that, we don't have anybody. We don't have any. We had some people go on play small, D2, D3, whatever. I mean, and that's great. My son's going to play D2, this coming year. That's not a knock on them, but they're just not world famous like this. The closest thing we have out of Dalton, Georgia, world famous, is Jahmyr Gibbs, who played at Dalton High School. And that was not my high school. They beat the pants off of us every week.
All right, how about this one? So we had a receiver at my high school. Now, this was years before I was there. I went to go watch when I was like a 8th grader, and this guy was a senior. And it's Wayne McGarity. Now, Wayne McGarity ended up going to Texas, had a nice career as a receiver, drafted in the 4th round, probably played 4 or 5 years in the league. And everyone's like, man, Wayne McGarity's if you're a 4th-round pick in the NFL and you played high school ball, you're dominating Friday nights every single weekend. And we went to go watch them play in the playoffs. And Clark scored 42 points and lost by 40 to Austin Westlake. Now you're like, okay, what's the big deal about Austin Westlake? Mm-hmm. They had some quarterback named Drew Brees. And that guy lit them up. And that was the difference in 4th-round pick versus NFL Hall of Famer, guy who's going to go smash records all over the league for the entirety of his career. We had Wayne McGarity. They had some kid named Drew Brees.
Yeah. He turned out to be all right. And I guarantee you, everybody's like, he's too small. He's not going to get missed.
Yeah, that's why he had to go to Purdue.
Right. He's not gonna be
had to leave the state of Texas. It's too small.
Every time.
He is a stone's throw from the University of Texas.
Unreal.
He's in the backyard. Let's go play for Joe Tiller and his pass-happy offense, and that's what he did. Took off to Purdue and put up numbers, got banged up in the NFL, went to New Orleans, became a legend.
Freaking legend. And a guy that embraced that city.
Yeah. He part of the reason why they still have an NFL franchise there is because of Drew Brees.
And I didn't know that. You told me that they were trying to take that
to San
franchise
Antonio.
to San Antonio, where you're from. I think it's the coolest when guys that have made it to play at the highest levels go back and coach high school ball. That's my favorite. I think that's the coolest thing that can happen. And you see it, with some sort of regularity with baseball players, football players, and basketball. I mean, look, Penny Hardaway, he went and coached high school ball.
Now he's back at Memphis.
Back at Memphis. But he was coaching high school there in Memphis prior to that. I love that. Like, you go back to the roots.
You know who's doing it and making it look big and how it can be real is Deion Sanders.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Deion Sanders has like last year he had like Warren Sapp on his staff. Like he's got like these other dudes that are NFL ballers. He had Marshall Faulk on his staff.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
And so now that he's going to be paid like the $10-12 million range, it's like, man, it's real. If you can get through that, it's blazed this path for former players to say, yeah, you can go run programs now.
I was reading about Teddy Bridgewater, and I'm not trying to divert us necessarily.
Oh, it's interesting what he's doing.
That's the thing that...
Former NFL quarterback with the Lions and with the Vikings.
Went back and decided he's going to coach football, high school football in Louisville.
Yeah.
He starts helping kids out, and now he's suspended as a coach because they said he's breaking rules.
It's whatever.
I don't know the details, so I can't speak to it. But it sounds gross that this dude's trying to help and they're not allowing.
They're accusing him of an illegal financial benefit. But at this point, those lines are so blurred now.
Yeah, exactly. With NIL, and every state's got high school NIL. I don't think many people know that so many high schools have NIL, no different than college.
You will not jeopardize your eligibility with it.
But Miami Northwestern High School is where he is, and I guess that's his alma mater too. He retired from the NFL in February, coached them to a state championship in their first season last season, and now they're saying he's suspended for, like Lo said, these benefits that are impermissible, whatever that means. I don't even know what that means anymore. Like Lo said. It's just, I hate to see that because, dude, he's doing good. Or at least I feel like he's doing good. Do you have a take on this? Have you read enough about it?
I've just read enough to know that,
me too.
That he colored across some line and the state was like, you're not allowed to do that. And when here's the other end of this thing. When it comes to guys that had NFL careers for a decade, they're worth a lot more money than the typical high school coach.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why the states are trying to kind of level the playing field of you can't offer that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that they chose to hit
whatever
on.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I
bring
do
it back
want
to Highland Park real quick.
Yep.
You know who rounds out the trio of pro athletes with Stafford and Kershaw?
I don't.
Pretty good golfer. Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Also a good dude.
Dude, they just churn out people.
I'm telling you.
Dude, what are they putting in the water down there, Lowe's?
It's a really expensive, nice area of Dallas.
Okay.
So it's no surprise that when it comes to
the best training,
all of it,
the best lessons outside of just practice, and then if you have the ability or the desire to grind and be the best of the best, which those three have, gosh, like nothing you've never seen before.
I remember our friend down the hall, Chris Domino, and I think I've
Baseball
told
Jesus.
This, yeah, Baseball Jesus, for those of you who don't know. I remember him when Matthew Stafford was going to the University of Georgia. We're doing a radio show together, and I guess he had just seen Friday Night Lights, read the book, seen the movie. The show had started on NBC, and he starts asking me about, like, it's kind of like a Friday Night Lights situation for this kid. He's going to be coming to this big stadium and coming in, and I'm like, dude, Highland Park
probably
is
got the
not
biggest
Friday
stadium.
Night Lights.
Yeah. Dude,
it's like if you were to play high school football at Beverly Hills High School, and then you were like, oh, okay, now this is where I'm going. That is what Highland Park is in Dallas.
Dude, they do it right in Texas. What is it? Canyon, Texas, Happy Bank Stadium. It holds like 20,000 people.
Oh, you'd be amazed.
Eagle
how many
Stadium in Allen.
Allen, Texas is one of the big ones.
18,000. Good Lord. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that Matthew Stafford was intimidated by walking into Sanford. Yeah, Texas, there ain't nothing bigger than high school football in Texas.
All right, I'm just going to show you this. This is in Highland Park. This house,
good Lord,
is going for $33 million.
And it looks like the governor's mansion down on West Paces.
Which is a 6-bedroom, 13-bath, 23,000 square foot home for $32,500. And I can keep going. Here's another one for $34,500.
My.
This is not Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, no, that's far.
And when you wonder, like, man, what are they putting in the water? It's called money. Lots and lots of money.
That's right.
Maybe if you have to slum it for your 4,000 square foot home, That's only $7.6 million in Highland Park of Dallas.
Pocket change, what that is.
That's no. Oh, look, there's a $3.5 million home. Look how regular that looks.
Oh, my heavens. That has shutters.
3,800 square feet and shutters. $3.5 million.
Have you seen the show Righteous Gemstones?
I know of it from HBO.
Yeah. Watching.
So it's all about, I mean, it's, who played Kenny Powers? I can't think. Danny McBride.
Yeah. Danny
McBride and his family. They're,
right,
preachers for hire.
Yes.
Yeah. But they end up going to Texas to meet with another family that's in the same thing. And they are just awestruck because everything is bigger in Texas, including the megachurch.
Yeah, the megachurches, the football stadiums, and the $33 million homes. But
man, it's expensive.
Yeah, that's a different way of living for sure. AstroTurf. We talk about how the Democrat Party, like everything they do, is fake, and this is something that we've talked about a few times. There is an organization called Crowds on Demand.
And in there, well, you can go to their website. Whether your organization is lobbying to move forward a healthcare, financial, energy, or other social initiative, we can organize rallies and get media attention for your causes and candidates. We also assist individuals, companies, and political organizations with protest and picketing campaigns. We've protested governments, corporations, and everything in between. This is the organization that's like, we're the ready mob. We're the ready crowd. We'll deliver them to you. You hand them the signs. This is what it'll make it look like. Now, here is actually their CEO. Their CEO went on News Nation. His name is Adam Swart. And he talked about what they were offered in order to do some of this work.
Interests aligned with the organizers of the July 17th movement have approached us, and in fact, we rejected an offer that probably is worth around $20 million.
$20 million?
Correct. I mean, this is a nationwide thing, right? It's not to say I would have made $20 million personally, but the value of the contract would have been worth around that amount nationwide to organize huge demonstrations around the country. But personally, I just don't think it's effective. So I'm not trying to call myself virtuous for rejecting it. What I'm saying is I'm rejecting it not because I don't want to take the business, but because, frankly, this is going to be ineffective. It's going to make us all look bad.
The crowds, the showing up, the paid for play is not working. That's what he's pointing out. Now, it's not their only business model. And he's basically saying we've got other ways of doing this that are more effective. But the Democrats only know right now, rent a crowd. That'll make it look like there's a whole lot of influence in this. And he's telling you, even at $20 million, it's not worth it because it's not working.
And if you recall, when we talked about this, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, the crowd at Chavez Ravine, remember it popped up. They were like...
They were there, and then they hit a certain hour, and they were gone.
That's exactly right. And that guy said, yeah, they paid us to have a crowd, and that's why those crowds show up so quickly. For people to get paid, they have to be sitting on go. You have, as soon as you get the call, hey, we need you to be a part of this crowd, you got 15 or 20 minutes to get here. That's why they pop up so quickly.
And when they disappear on the hour, you go, what happened? That's because that is part of these organizations, and this is what they do. These are not organic groups.
By no means.
This isn't a matter of like, I got together with me and my friends and we decided we're going to go protest down there because we're angry about this bill or this spending or whatever it is you're angry about.
And it's crazy because if you recall also, after that rent-a-crowd ICE protest at Chavez Ravine, the Dodgers committed $1 million to support the leftist organizations because they didn't know.
They didn't know that the crowd was bought and paid for. They thought it was completely organic. This is the game. Like, you got to know the game. And some of these organizations, they're slow on the uptake when it comes to politics and when it comes to their audiences. Like, we have someone who works for the Braves. You know why you don't have foam tomahawks anymore? You know why they're not in the stadium? Because of one person within that organization and their politics. And then when they started actually looking into the politics of the rest of the audience, that's the reason why you got the chop back. Because they're like, I know you made this reaction and you got the foam tomahawks taken away, but our audience wants to chop. So we're going to chop.
And you saw it last night. You saw it the night before when Matt Olson was at the plate and the tomahawk chop breaks out. When Ronald Acuna was at the plate the first time last night. Here come the chop again, dude. It's all that is actually organic. People just started and it just engulfs the stadium.
And by the way, so I love these backstories on this stuff. There was a player with the St. Louis Cardinals who claimed that the chop was racist, that it was offensive to him, and he was of Indian heritage. He was of Native American heritage, and so that immediately got this one person with the break. We can't have these foam tomahawks out. We can't do this. What then happened is when you looked into his social media, the amount of times he used derogatory terms for gay people, you went, yeah, maybe you're not the person we should be doing this around, but that's not how it works with the left.
No, you don't have the moral compass. You're pretending
you have the reactionary.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh my God, he's offended. We can't do this.
How could that?
That's why the chop goes so hard in that building. If you know the history of what occurred with that, that's why it goes so hard. And that's why when you ever get the article on political correctness and what we should or shouldn't be doing, that's why everybody chops back at you. Be offended.
The Department of Education wants you to know how important their work is. Next on the Morning Extra, Tug and Los until 10. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors. Your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779 Southern. SouthernExteriors.co.
Extra 106.3 is Atlanta's home for NASCAR. And we have live races every weekend from across the country. Check out extra1063.com for the full schedule and join us this weekend for live NASCAR action.
Hey, it's Front Office Los. Let's talk about Echo Power Equipment and Howard Brothers, where you can always pick it up. Summer's here. You've noticed. Howard Brothers has the Echo gear to get you through it. Heat? Okay, bring it on. It's been plenty hot. Overgrown grass? They can handle that. That's not a problem. Trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, edgers. Echo Power Equipment gives you the power to tackle every job without breaking a sweat. Or maybe just a little sweat, but let's face it, you're going to get through everything much faster with Echo Power Equipment. It's time that you get back using Echo from Howard Brothers. They have the know-it-all to also match you with the right tool for your job. You just let the people at Howard Brothers know. Some of them have been working there 30 years, okay? It's family-owned, family-operated. It's locally owned, locally operated as well. They're able to say, here's the right equipment for your job. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Compact outside, the all-electric EQB 250 Plus SUV is big on space, style, and smart ideas. With available seating for 7, a digital voice assistant, and MB navigation with electric intelligence, the EQB is born from a forward-thinking family and built for yours. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 EQB 250 Plus SUV. Just $359 per month for 36 months with $49.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Day sales event at RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, extended through July 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We have become a highly sought-after turf installation company in the Atlanta and North Georgia luxury residential market. Big reason for that is our installers are ATL Turf Co. employees. We do not outsource labor. They are trained to be experts in the turf installation process, drainage, grading. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90NATION for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The city of Austell has approved a 158% property tax increase. Austell previously held the lowest property taxes in Cobb County for 25 years. Mayor Ollie Clemens said the decision didn't come lightly and was long overdue in order to help the city leaders retain top talent. Austell faced a $1.6 million shortfall in 2024. Marietta City Schools are discussing installing vape detection systems in schools. The proposed Halo smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and vape devices. The CDC reports that 6% of middle and high schoolers admit to using vape products. And the Stanley Cup made its way to Metro Atlanta. The trophy was on display at the Alpharetta Town Green yesterday. Speakers at the event said they hope having the trophy in town will spark interest in bringing the NHL back to Georgia. Last month, the Forsyth County Commission approved the multi-billion-dollar mixed-use development known as The Gathering, which could pave the way for an expansion NHL franchise in Atlanta. Today's weather partly cloudy throughout the day with temperatures rising to the mid-90s. We'll have some pop-up storms throughout the day. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. 8779-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. So, Department of Education, we've been fortunate here to have Angela Morabito, who was the spokesperson for the Department of Education under Betsy DeVos in the first Trump administration. And she's told us about some of the underhanded dealings, some of the waste, fraud, and abuse that went on at the DOE. And now that Trump's gotten that ruling that he can start eliminating, was it 1,400 jobs at the DOE, people who know the inside of that organization, that has seen our test scores just drop off a map, drop off the face of the earth, things go in the absolute wrong direction since the creation of the DOE.
We have not been able to show any real progress since 1979,
which is the right around when it was right around then. That's when Jimmy Carter launched it.
That's when it was launched.
Yeah. So we continue to trend in the wrong direction. Everybody knows it, but those teachers' unions are so strong, so powerful. They get funded so well. They're able to influence decisions in Washington, D.C. But Donald Trump, what did that mafia dude say that one time? He was like, dude, he's incorruptible. We tried.
Yeah. You had, I'm trying to remember who it was.
I'll look it up here.
Pointed it out, but he talked about how they tried to get him when he was in New York, and that the mob tried to get involved with him, and they're like, he won't take the money. Like, he doesn't want the influence. Their point was, we can get stuff done faster if you use us. And he's like, nope.
Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull, that's right.
Sammy the Bull.
Yeah. He was
there we go.
We did everything we could.
He's like, we tried. He's incorruptible.
We got money. So does he. He didn't need it. So, again, he's not able to be persuaded the way that so many people are. But I want you to hear from this DOE employee that's getting blown out. And look, I don't celebrate anybody losing their job, but I know what's happening at the Department of Education is not good. I know that our children are suffering because of it, and it needs to go. It absolutely needs to go. So listen to this DOE worker. She gets real mad, and she wants to convince you that her work is so important.
What our department does and did was fund school districts, fund colleges, fund schools, and fund American citizens who are pursuing their education. And it is extremely anger-inducing that this misrepresentation of what we do and how important our work is perpetuating and is not being corrected even by the highest court of our land. And then, then I go to sadness. I'm a recipient or product of Title I schools. I'm a recipient of Pell Grants. And I think about there will not be future needs. People who are coming from working class families who want a different way of life, who want to improve their life choices through education. This administration is making it harder. We're already seeing that because they have dismantled or laid our people off. School districts, Title I schools are not getting the grants that they need. Colleges are not getting the medical research that many people depend on. College students are not getting financial aid at all because our people are out of work. And the students that are at schools currently are not receiving the protections of the Office for Civil Rights to make sure that our tax dollars, that schools that receive our tax dollars are doing right by them.
Dude, I've made so many notes as she's talking. Where do you begin? Funding. She's talking about funding. She said, well, there's going to be no funding. The DOE goes away. There's going to be, yes, there will.
Yeah,
it'll just be routed through the states.
Just be at the state level.
That's it. So check that off. She said, that the needs won't be met. The Pell Grants won't. There won't be another me, she said. Well, that's actually probably a good thing.
Too bad, but that's already going through the Treasury.
That's right. Pell Grants are still going to exist. They're just going through a different route. Working class folks won't be able to get in. No. Remember, there's plenty of working class folks that tried to get in, and you, because of the DOE, were able to circumvent them getting into an elite school because of their skin color. Asian kids were being held back. They weren't allowed to get in. You don't think any of those are kids? Yeah, what's that?
White and Asian
kids. For sure.
That is what the Supreme Court found, that there was a bias towards.
So you're telling me that none of those kids are working class kids? Because I disagree. I completely disagree with you. And then the civil rights thing, because there was a couple things that you tried to pull at your heartstrings. There will never be another me, which we know is not the case. There'll be plenty because there's.
It's like go to the bus stop.
That's right. Civil rights. What about the civil rights of those Jewish students? You didn't seem real concerned about that.
Who were denied class attendance.
Weren't able to get to their class because you had pro-Hamas protesters blocking the door. Where is your desire for their civil rights? I didn't hear you say nothing then. If you would have been putting this video out then saying this is wrong, then maybe I'd listen to you today.
What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. All right, you've done it for nearly 50 years. Maybe we should try something else. And that's when it comes to you. What are you going to do? Have suddenly the kids in Illinois, in Chicago, be able to read less?
Dude, I saw a tweet, and I don't have it in front of me, but it was along those same lines. It's like, you could ask some of those kids to read what actually the Supreme Court said because it's not what you're presenting it to be, but most of them can't read because you failed them so badly.
Because you have problems. There's not one school that is reading on level in that state. Now, these are the heavily, when you start looking at the teachers' unions' involvement in those places or where there's big problems. Fortunately, we don't have a ton of that that goes on in this state. But still, if it's not working and it hasn't been working and the numbers continue to fall, our math scores have continued to fall for 50 years. What is that to? Is that because math is that much harder? No. Well, math is math. It's universal. It hasn't changed for 50 years, but we're not teaching it as well.
And then they'll throw in the whole, remember the Common Core disaster?
Common Core, which was the most ridiculous year of schooling my daughter ever had.
A complete disaster that came out of the faculty lounge.
Yes.
They were like, hey, I got an idea. Let's spin this thing around. Let's do it differently.
Why don't we create a method by which we can be compensated at a higher level because we'll remake how you teach math? And so when My daughter was asked, what is 7 times 7? And anyone would say, well, that's 49. They're like, well, how did you get to that? Now you have to diagram it out. Make this box. Here, Jeray's looking at me like, that's insane. Yes, it is. You had to diagram how you got to individual answers, and so that was Common Core.
7 times. I mean, that's, I don't.
You better diagram it out.
7.
I don't have that many fingers and toes. Sorry about it.
But right, even if you wrote it down, dude, it was a complete disaster because Jacob had to put up with it much like Los's kids. And my wife, who's an accountant by trade, she's really good at math. I'm not. I struggle with decimals and fractions. It's embarrassing. But when she was trying to help Jacob with math, the Common Core math, she would be so frustrated because she's like, what they're saying we need to do makes no sense. It's going exactly opposite direction of what we need to do, which is make it as simple as you can possibly make it, and they found a route to make it more difficult.
So I found a math problem.
Oh, here we go.
Using some AI.
Oh, my God.
All right, so here is a Common Core math problem.
Okay.
You ready, Jeray?
Yes, sir.
A farmer has 23 cows and 15 sheep. How many animals does the farmer have in total?
38.
Yeah, I got to do.
Well, y'all are both wrong. Because students have to use manipulative base 10 blocks to represent the numbers, then combine them to find the sum. 23 plus 15 equals 38. They might also use number lines or drawings to visualize the addition process. The fact that you got the answer but didn't do the process is why you're wrong.
You lost me at manipulative
base 10 blocks.
I'm not even sure what that is.
Reinventing how to do so somebody could you want to talk about wasting students' time and why doing the same things over and over is the definition of insanity. Just that problem alone should show you like what went wrong.
It reminds me of a phrase that you can't say on the air, but it's going around your elbow to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really just adding unnecessary steps in the process.
Yes. Exactly.
All while teachers' unions were still getting raises like crazy.
I'm Common Core certified. I can teach this.
But and I want to make sure that that's clear. Not teachers getting raises. Teachers' unions.
Yes.
There's a reason Randy Weingarten, the second largest teachers' union, was pulling in $500,000 a year. That wasn't going to teachers. I know plenty of teachers that do work, hard work, care about their students, and they're like, this is a mess. And they're working so hard, and they don't get the benefit of that. The teachers union, I don't know how anybody can be in favor of that because it screws the teachers, screws the kids, and the union bosses. Boy, they live high on the hog.
You want to know how they push this stuff? Traditional math typically refers to methods of teaching mathematics that were used before the adoption of the Common Core standards. These methods often focused on rote memorization or formulas and procedures with less emphasis on understanding the concept or on real-life application of mathematical skills. I gave you a question that ended in 38. I asked you to add animals 25 and 13. The fact that you guys did that within seconds, and I told you you're both wrong.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't illustrate the mathematical use. I'm like,
I didn't draw my cows.
Well, we didn't count the farmer himself. Humans are technically animals, so 39.
Talk about a giant waste of time.
Complete
to have to map out the mathematical process.
Which is the reason.
Can you add? That would be, here you go. Can you add?
And Angela Morabito brings that up a lot. She was like, should standardized testing be the end-all, be-all? No. But we need to have something that is a guideline to show that kids are progressing. And that's why teachers' unions are typically so in favor of getting rid of standardized testing because it holds them accountable.
It exposes what little they're actually doing.
That's exactly right. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 Tug and Los until 10, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors. Home exterior solutions since 1999. Windows, doors, siding, gutters, roofing. They do millworks, build you a screened-in porch on the back of the house. Whatever you need done, they can do it. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. The Lib IQ test. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Tom. Who's Tom, you might ask? Well, Tom is the Honest Car Guy. HonestCarGuy.com. How does it work when you work with Tom? Well, first off, you're going to save thousands. All right, very simply, done the math, worked it out. I got a 14-year-old. It's going to be a 15-year-old very soon. My wife and I have already decided when it's time, we're buying a car from Tom, the Honest Car Guy. So here's how it works. All you got to do is give Tom a make and model. That's it. That's all. Tom has a connection. Tom has the ability to get anywhere around the country using some of his systems to figure out where that vehicle is, what's the pricing on it, what's going to be the best deal for you. And then at that point, once you secure the vehicle, you are going to pay what Tom's going to pay for it, plus the Honest Car Guy fee. That's it. That's all. You will then recognize, as you'll start working through this process, how many thousands of dollars that get tacked on to that vehicle everywhere along the way that you end up having to pay for. Again, you're going to save thousands working with Tom. You can go to honestcarguy.com or go to 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, July 16th. The National League, well, they are your All-Star Game winners after a 6-6 final that was settled with a home run swing-off for the first time ever in All-Star Game history. Philadelphia Phillies slugger Kyle Schwarber led the National League to a 4-3 home run swing-off advantage to beat the American League. As for the Atlanta Braves, they are now off for the break until Friday. They will return to action at Truist Park and host the New York Yankees for a weekend series. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Santa's traded in his sleigh for a surfboard. This is Jaron Solomon, and it's Christmas in July at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. We're turning up the holiday cheer with 31% off every single item in our specially marked trays. That's right, rings, necklaces, earrings, every type of jewelry we carry is included. It's not just holiday hype, it's the real deal. Inspired by 31 days of July and packed with serious sparkle. Come see why we're Atlanta's only 5-star rated jeweler with over 3,000 glowing reviews. The preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves, a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs, and the official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. For 31% off during Christmas in July. So come see us on the 17th floor of Tower Place in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and off Fisher Crossing Drive in Sharpsburg, right across from the Costco. Online at SolomonBrothers.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
It's that time of year again. Chuck, the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, is bringing back the 5th annual Christmas in July benefiting Skyland Trail, a nonprofit leading the way in mental health wellness right here in Atlanta. Skyland Trail provides expert, evidence-based treatment to help people facing mental health challenges find a path to recovery. Central Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to support this mission. As one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta, Central knows what it means to give back. Here's how you can help. Just sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new agreement will go directly to Skyland Trail, providing life-changing mental health care for adults and teenagers. Central services all makes and models, and with them, you're never just a number, you're part of the family. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com to sign up and help Central Heating and Air Conditioning give back. Carrier products, carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care, we're Central Heating and Air.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
So we do our best not to just say, these people are stupid, these people are dumb, because that's underselling them. That's putting yourself in a bad spot.
You're underestimating your opponent.
Underestimating. That's exactly right. But
AOC might be. She's an actress.
Right. Absolutely. Which is why it's so funny.
She has a degree, and so, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, well,
probably some intelligence level there, but just, she was an actress.
There's not a lot. And I want you to hear Donald Trump when he talks about AOC and Jasmine Crockett and he suggests maybe an IQ test.
AOC, look, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her and Crockett, we're going to give them both an IQ test to see who comes out best. Now, I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test. Anyway, have a good time.
Have a good time.
Just move along here. He's so dismissive. It's so funny.
The worst part about Jasmine Crockett is you'll find out, wow, she's actually playing a game. She's playing a game. She's playing a gag.
You want to talk about being an actress?
Yeah.
That's actually being an actress. I don't know that AOC ever got a job, even though that was what she claimed to be, was an actress, and that's why they picked her, because she was an actress.
If you see her from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you listen to her talk, you see what her speeches are, you would be shocked that she is now playing the role of angry black woman and basically doing a caricature of what she thinks that is.
It's Tropic Thunder.
It is. It is. I'm playing a game here.
And I didn't even know what that character was, Robert Downey Jr., until Lo showed me. He was like, you have to see this. And now that I know, I'm like, oh my heavens, that's exactly what she's doing.
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what she's doing. I love the fact Donald Trump says, I will give them both the IQ test, see which one comes out best.
Like it's like throwing a sharp stick in a... Here, y'all fight it out.
That's right.
See which one of y'all is going to be the leader of this party going forward.
And, hey, look, and to your point, both of them are kind of the de facto leaders of that party. They get more airtime than anybody else. Hakeem Jeffries don't get the airtime that either one of those ladies do. Chuck Schumer doesn't get as much airtime as those ladies do. And the Democrat Party, if you ask them, they want new leadership, and most of them usually go to AOC and Bernie Sanders, 1 and 2. I bet Jasmine's 3.
Communists don't pray. They don't have religion as part of what's going on. So can I say a prayer to the communist leaders?
Sure.
Comrades, please, please, please run either one of these women in 2028. Thank you.
This message paid for by the Republican Party.
Please, 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 please tell me that the party of the liberal Catwoman and the lady man and really old people will suggest that AOC or Jasmine Crockett can run for president and do better than Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris.
But dude, they'd be neck and neck at the bottom. There's no...
Like, they'd make it through primaries.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Because they'd be speaking crazy.
Huge. I bet they'd have huge primary numbers.
That's still the main issue that happens. In order to get... And this is why the Democrats don't really have primaries anymore. Like, the last time they had a primary, 2008?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
That was the last time when it was Hillary and Barack Obama. The last time they had a legit primary. Otherwise, it's been... not having a primary, because in order to secure these voters, you're going to have to say so many things on that trail that you're not going to be able to win a national election. You're not going to be able to win a general.
You have to be anointed. You have to be communist enough to get the attention of Aunt Peg and people like her.
AOC would have them all fired up.
Buddy.
And then be like, so what do you mean about seizing control of all this stuff and that Mom Donnie's been doing a good job?
And the means of production and rent controls. What exactly are you talking about there?
I mean, Kamala Harris, she didn't say a lot, okay? She didn't say much of anything. They hired a lot of people to say a lot of good stuff for her. She didn't say a lot on the campaign trail. But when she did, remember also when we would compare all of her speeches and they were all the exact same speech, same inflection, same hand movements, all of it.
In every city.
It was all manicured. But when she did say something and she talked about freezing grocery store prices and you had the Washington Post go, hey, listen, that's really communist in nature. You probably don't want to say that. It's not going to help you.
They're already saying you're a communist. And then you come out with this?
And then you just said the most communist thing you can, which is, I'm going to be arranging for prices.
Yeah. And now, it's crazy, maybe that was just the trial balloon. That was the test so they could, get Mom Donnie. He was warming up in the pen. now he's out there just...
Hold my beer. I got much more than that.
Seriously, don't stop. He's like, what are you stopping for?
We're going to be seizing private property. We're going to build low-income housing.
And we're going to seize the means of production.
Community centers. You'll love it.
Tax the rich.
By the way, did you see the news coming out of California about the state buying up different properties in order to do low-income housing?
Yep, that conspiracy theory has also now come true.
That was a week ago when I said I'm not done being right, not tired of it. Here it is. They all do the same stuff, man. It doesn't change. I think that's probably the best and easiest part about this job and getting a chance to talk about this stuff. Once you understand the opponent, you always know what they're going to do if you know them that well.
Telegraphed.
I live with one. I know what she's going to do. I know how she's going to react.
She's recovering, though. I feel certain because she's such a nice woman. She's in recovery. She's going to do better.
I think she leads with her heart. And that's part of what they're not all communists. It's just that their leadership is.
Yeah.
But a lot of them depend on the good-natured, big-hearted person to tell them, well, if you really care, this is what you should care about. And a lot of them fall into that trap. And that's why we avoid, at least for me, that's why I avoid the whole dumb, stupid, whatever. I'm like, some of these people are smart people, but they lead with their heart, not their head at times.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And in most civilized society, that's a really good thing because you genuinely care. It's the methods that they use, like you're saying, this is how you should care. This is the way. If you really care, this is the route you should take. And it's always give me the power and the money, and I'll take care of everything for you, and you can still have that big heart.
MSNBC wants to show you that image of that poor abuela, and she's going to be sent back to her home country, and this is just so mean. Mm-hmm. And this is why you need to have a big heart. You need to welcome these people. What they don't tell you is what 20 million unvetted has done to your society. Has done to your schools, your hospitals.
Where's the heart for those people that are being affected on a daily basis?
And so that's the heart game.
Yeah.
That's how it plays. It doesn't make you dumb. Now, some of you are dumb.
No.
Okay? It doesn't make you dumb, but some of you are dumb. But they're trying to play with your heart, and they're trying to get you there. And they do the same thing to our side.
Oh, yeah.
They will appeal to whether it's your religion, whether it's your morals. They'll say, well, why would you do that, Tug? Jesus wouldn't do that.
Right.
The amount of leftists that have been posting scripture and then being like, why don't you explain this?
Hakeem Jeffries. Remember when he went and he was during maybe the filibuster.
During his filibuster.
For the big, beautiful bill. And he was quoting scripture. I'm like, You know who knows scripture? And I'm not comparing him to the devil per se. But you know who knows scripture better than any of us? That'd be the devil. So I'm not sure I want to take
you weren't taking his biblical
I just don't
view
know.
Of things?
I don't know that he's the right guy to guide the flock.
I just know that his party, his group, they were the ones that 4 or 5 years told you can't go to church.
That's right. You go liquor store.
You go liquor store.
You
can't
get
go to
tattoo.
church. Can't go to church.
Yeah, you go to protest.
Don't go to church.
Burn city down. We're going to put people that go to church in jail. And they did. In Kentucky, they did all kinds of places.
We're going to get your cell phone data. We're going to make sure that you don't go to church.
And if you ping, we're going to find you.
We're going to find you.
We're going to work backwards. We're going to track you down, drag you out of your house, humiliate you.
Forgive me if I don't believe his sincerity when it comes to faith.
No, I don't. Well, I mean,
I'm not. You've given me reason to doubt, sir.
The Democrat Party hates
Congressman.
Faith. Because if you have faith, that you put your faith in something other than government, they'll have none of that. And you will pay the price for doing such as that. Praying silently in front of an abortion clinic. To jail, sir. To jail.
You can't do that.
We will put a red dot on your chest in front of your family after we kick open the door with 20 FBI agents.
You obstructionist.
Well, we laugh about it. You have to laugh about it or you'll cry because it's so incredibly communist. It's so incredibly anti-American, all the things that they did and all the things that they will do again if you give them the chance.
So let's see how the rest of the day plays out. We'll be keeping an eye on what goes out of Congress, what happens with Jerome Powell, and then what's the talking point going to be tomorrow, because this is getting... I'm always interested on a daily basis with this stuff. This is getting really into an area of going, let's see if this administration can stop stepping in it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And the head of Powell would be a big help for that.
Yeah, it would. That would take the attention, and it would be a vacuum. Everything would be, because then the Democrats are going to react. It's a politically motivated. That's supposed to be a non-political position.
Listen, if this was Rome, I'd be like, just give me my games and my bread.
That's right.
And this is what I need today.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you for being here. Morning Extra until 10 after we're done. It's the Glenn Beck program. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, which Clay, if I'm not mistaken, is he? I think he's here today. He's going to be doing a show from here today. Then after Clay and Buck are done at 3, local afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Keep it on Extra for conservative talk, and y'all come back now. You hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.